Hello everyone, welcome to the Patch Us In podcast. I'm Hamish and I'm here with Dom.
Hey.
And I'm here with Hugh.
Hey.
And today we have a special guest, a friend of ours, Ross. How you doing, Ross?
Hello, I'm fine, yeah.
He's a natural. So we're here to talk about, well, we've got quite a lot of news to talk about actually, don't we? There's been a lot going on. We've got Gamescom, D23, what we've been playing. So let's start off with you, Ross. What have you been up to lately?
Got into No Man's Sky with the new Beyond update.
For the Xbox, yeah.
Xbox One, yeah, playing it all Xbox One X with those
4K.
super duper Ks and enhancedness.
That's a lot of nisses.
4K's worth of nisses.
It is. It's really good. They've added in a load of new features and story and other art things. I actually hadn't played it before the Beyond update, so I had to.
Oh, did they add a game to it?
Yes.
No, they just made it again finally.
It's just a reskin.
Sea of Thieves in the sky.
Sky of Thieves.
I'm always shitting on that game.
Space Pirates, mate.
I had to go back and get
It wasn't mine.
Basically all the new features and everything else that's been added in since the last time that it was updated, and it does also have its downsides. Like it's been great fun. It's really cool to just fly about from planet to planet. Like you just like I like this system, off to the next one. It's pretty cool. But there's then the whole problem of like me and Hamish have been playing it, and I think I joined your game, and then when I tried to go back to do single player the next day. My game loaded up and crashed, and I was met with a frozen screen. Eventually managed to find a workaround where I could join through the official page for No Man's Sky. People searching for games, pick anybody, join them that are already in a session, leave their party or continue to play with them, and it would load up where I was, my ship and everything, but I would be in their system.
Yeah.
Fortunately, every space station's got a portal in it, so you can just go to the portal and jump back to your own place.
Sounds like so convoluted just to get your game.
It's literally just a glitch or something. I don't know what the problem with. I'm assuming it's just with my save file. There's an issue with my save because Hamish can load his back up.
Yeah.
Can you save into a new save file?
No, it doesn't give you the option. It doesn't give you the option to choose what file you want to save into.
How many hours are you into it?
Now?
No, with like from that first.
When that first happened, I think we were about 16 or 18 hours in by that point, because I had played a good bit of it myself before Hamish joined me.
Because that's when you built the ship and
that's rage quitting time. Fuck this, I'm not playing again.
There isn't anything that I've done, I mean in terms of story and stuff, it's okay, it's cool, but there's not anything where I've went, oh wow, I've even with the ships that I've found, there's not any of them that I'm like, oh wow, that's just a super fantastic, dead rare, I worked up so much money, worked so hard. Like, you
mined all those minerals and did all that, and
did all those fetch quests.
But there's quests where you can go and isn't even fetches.
I think I've seen one mission that you can like retrieve an item, and one where you need to deliver something, but they're mostly like scanning so many creatures or killing so many things or killing space pirates and stuff like that. Like there's not so many fetch quests as such, but we've really just been kind of fucking about and exploring.
You just go from planet to planet. I mean, it's the different biomes that the planets have got. It's really cool. I remember I've been in one planet where it's like.
Have they still got the retarded animals?
Oh yeah. 100% like penis-headed dogs and shit.
Penis-headed dogs.
That's literally how they look.
So like, you feel like it's lived up to the expectations it should have been?
Now, apart from the bug part of it, so taking that aside, actually playing the game is really enjoyable, and there is so much to it. Like even the crafting and the base building, when you're building your base, you've got a whole tree of things you can unlock. Then once you start another space station thing, this anomaly that appears where you can go speak to these people, and then there's more things that they can help you unlock. And then once you built one of the things, one of them lets you recruit a wee person to come and live on your base and work on this
like a wee slave
stall.
Volunteering slave.
No, like the way the text is with
indentured servitude.
They know you from your past life, so you wake up not knowing your past. This person apparently knows you and he's happy to help you because of things that you've done for them in the past, but they won't tell you what. So they're not slaves. Not slaves.
Your pal,
they do.
Your bro.
They're bros from a future you. But they'll come down and help you. But then he introduces, oh well, do you know what would be really cool? It'd be really cool if you could build a weapon station. And he's the tech guy or something. He's like, oh, it'd be really cool if you could have an armory. I tell you what, if you grab me these materials, I can write up the blueprints and you can build yourself an armory. And then
sounds like he's using you.
Right, but
you're going to get an armory out of it, like.
And then once you get the armory then tells you how to develop other stuff. And as you do missions and quests, quests for them. They give you
more material or more.
Well, they give you things that are linked to this. So the armories gives you add-ons for your gun.
Yeah.
And lets you unlock different things that can help your gun.
Do you improve your mining gun? Because I remember that was an absolute nightmare playing that in the PS4.
Yeah.
Just like you would stand for ages and then it would just like go from 99 to 0 and then you've got to wait for it to charge and go bzzz, and then stop and
The
bzzz,
recharge time isn't long at all. It's only a couple of seconds if anything.
That's good then.
There are upgrades that you can get for everything. So you get upgrades for your ship, you get upgrades for your freighter, you get upgrades for your gun, your mining tool.
Even your suit for the hazard protection.
Well,
because you can get your jumps and stuff and your
different
temperature.
different environments. So you've got there's radioactive environments, there's hot environments, there's cold environments, and all of these you can have an attachment on your suit that will then bring everything down and stop it from affecting your actual life points. So you stop you from dying. But there's loads of customization.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but we do quite often complain about the bugs. Now and again I'll be on a freighter or a space station and I'll just fall through it and die. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then you need to get into your fucking ship and fly to where you fell to and died to pick up your stuff, and sometimes it breaks your gun and stuff like that and you need to repair it, and it's a pain in the ass. But
it was made by a small team. It was I don't know if it was indie level, but it was like a really compared to games that size. That's why it was so fucked when it came out.
They should have just not built it up as big as we were saying that the last time as well.
Their vision was just too big for what they had, but I
think it's because they got pressured by Sony maybe to come out and...
I think the PR, was it not a lot to do with the PR, and then they told me they'd lost files or something? Somebody told me they lost files.
They may have lost update files or something like that, but...
I know they promised way too much and couldn't deliver it straight away, and then their advertisements were promising things that weren't in the game.
We're now at a point they've got
everything.
8, I think it's up to 8 you can have in a team.
8 in a party, I'm sure it is.
4 to a squad.
Can we have big Star Wars battles in space?
No quite. You do get big freighters.
Yeah.
In your big freighters, you can then have, so you've got one big massive freighter that's yours, and then you've got lots of little ones that will fly with it, and you can send them off in missions, and they can go and do cargo drop missions and come back. So whilst you're doing whatever you're doing in the background, they're away off doing their own thing and come back. So they're constantly gaining money for you, or materials or whatever else is that they get as a reward for doing that mission.
Or getting blown the fuck up like mine did. After I spent $3 million on it and then it just fucking died. And I was like, I'm not doing this part of the game. I'll deal with this later.
I actually think your exact points were, oh well, I didn't think when they get blown up they would get blown up.
I love that because I've got one that's just been damaged and then it comes back and you can fix it up. But this one just gone completely.
They got your existence as well. Everything by that. Was there anything else you've been playing, man?
I actually picked up the new Pokemon mobile game.
Pokemon Masters. Yeah, I picked that up as well.
Sort of, so you can do it's a 3v3, but what was they've guys a 3v3 battle system that they've got on it, but it's a single player story thing that you go through. I don't even know if there is. I've not managed to get far enough into decide to see if there's any.
I've just done the tutorial part of it. I've not got in.
It does the same as what most of right. You've got gems and it gives you gems, right? But then you've got paid gems, which are literally the exact same icon but with the word paid in front of them. So you need to actually buy those to get paid gems. And I've got gems. I went, I'm going to go and buy this booster pack. This booster pack's 300 gems. I'm going to buy that, and it's like, no, sorry, that's not regular gems. That's paid gems. You can bloody buy it, but
you need to expect that these days in mobile games. You know what I mean?
Well, that's lazy though. At least make it like other games have gems, then they have diamonds or something like that.
The nostalgia with it though is one of the characters I got through using the free gems to get the lesser. So that you get gold packs, which are paid gems. You can get common packs, which are the just normal
regular ones. Yeah.
And I managed to get Lieutenant Surge as one of my guys. Get a wee Voltorb. I think it's Voltorb. It's Voltorb or Electro. No, it's Voltorb.
Yeah. Voltorb's the Pokeball looking one.
I know.
Electrode's the upside down.
No, it's Voltorb. It's got
some lazy designing in it.
Just the eyes are different, aren't they? This bigger bulky eyes for the
upside down.
Yeah. So
and also you get Misty and Brock are your first two characters you get to play with, and they've got Starmie and Onyx.
I like Misty's redesign that he did for it because she's got darker hair.
Have any of you picked up the Pop Gears as well?
I started playing that yesterday actually.
I didn't know it was out.
It's quite fun. I didn't know that. I saw you got an achievement on it because obviously you can sign in with your Xbox thing, and I saw in the community you got an achievement.
Wait, hold on, what is good?
I quite like it. It looks alright. I've only played it for like a day, but
I'm sure. So like people with the podcast have probably heard me going, "Oh man, I was looking forward to that game," and then I found out it was a mobile game, and
you're pretty disappointed.
I didn't know it was actually fun.
It's okay. Have you played Phone Destroyer South Park? Right, so South Park Phone Destroyer, you've got lots of different characters and you can pull them out at different points. Exact same basis, but it's a vertical line progression that you do. So you've got characters that will have a specific barrier icon, and they can then run up to cover, and they'll take cover behind the barrier, and as they're behind the cover, there's like a wee loading symbol that goes around the barrier, and as it loads, that's then you've taken that one. You've got 2 lanes each. If you can take both of those, then your spawn point will move up a wee bit further, so the line that you're allowed to bring your characters out behind moves forward, and you can take more, and then
the closer you get, the more advantage over the top.
Everybody's got 2 turrets, and your characters at the back, so your wee avatar guy sits at the base.
Special abilities and that, or it's like certain characters have different.
They're just people that you need to kill. Basically, you need to get points. You need to destroy the 2 turrets and the person, don't you?
Well, I mean, like your characters, do they have boosts and that?
Your actual character doesn't really play unless he's getting attacked. Like unless they've managed to push so far forward that they're actually then he'll sort of shoot back. But he's really just like he's the leader. So if they destroy the leader, then they win.
Oh yeah, so
he does fight back a wee bit, but it's not like it's pure major damage he does or anything. But the different characters have got cool stuff. So you've got like I can't remember the name of the robots in the new one. What's the
Jack?
Another ones you mean? I got them as well.
That's right. They're named after Phoenix.
Marcus?
No, they're not. But I don't think so. No.
They came out as like a wee group of 3. They're quite cool, but they've all got their strengths and weaknesses. You've got what's the new lassie?
Kate.
Yeah.
Her ability is she just storms straight through and heads straight for the turret. So she doesn't shoot anything else, doesn't target anything else. She
just goes for the turret.
Straight for a turret.
The turret.
But if you put her behind the covers, she'll vault over them, and as she vaults over them, she stuns people as she goes. Right. So you can use that as well, an advantage if you send in somebody else behind them. So there's a good bit of tactic to it.
And it is cool seeing like you get an ultimate ability, and it's like wee wretches that pop out of the ground and stuff like that. And some people have like Nasher shotguns, so they just walk up to people, just bang, and like they're dead. And
fuck that, man.
But it's
does the
nightmares from multiplayer.
I think we'll probably have different people, because as you get these wee boxes, like your loot boxes when you win and stuff like that, and then you open it up and then you get pins or something like they're called, and that's for your characters. So I got like Augustus Cole, and like the more you get, you can level them up and stuff like that. And so it's, I mean, you might like that, Hugh, because obviously you're quite a collector. You might want, I want that character, I want that guy.
Stay away from that, Hugh.
Maybe I'm not saying spend money on it.
No, we've been through my mobile game addictions.
Yes.
I no longer play any mobile games.
You've learned your lesson.
Yes. Don't tempt me, because I will spend everything.
Hugh, what have you been up to?
I'm playing some games. Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Again, because it's super long.
How many hours have you put into that then?
25, probably close to 30. I don't know, but I got that other game, Astral Chain, and I keep thinking, I'll start that one, but then if I start that one, I won't go back to Fire Emblem, and it's too many games.
You told me Fire Emblem was like 100+ hour game. You've only put 25-30 in it. Do you think you're going to finish it?
I'm going to finish one campaign at least.
Because it's 3 houses, isn't it? Like,
yeah. And it's choices as well, so like there's 3 campaigns, but then there's like multiple ways it can go. It's
and
too
they have
much.
DLC coming out 6-7 months after it as well. So like I'm 16 hours into it, and I've really enjoyed it, but I've only done 3 battles.
Those are rookie numbers, man. You need to pump those numbers up.
But I've been playing too many other ones.
It's too easy as well to see the casual mode. It's way too easy.
Do you think it is?
Yeah. Like there's no real challenge to it.
Do you not? Are you shite at it?
No, I'm what happens is like I go, okay, this is going to work, and then I just get obliterated. I'm like, okay, maybe I should try something else.
Maybe your tactics are shit, mate.
Nah,
it's a tactical RPG.
I was like, I should just go guns blazing, just run all in, and I'm like, wait, they're flanking me? How can they flank me? Oh wait, because they went round the corner.
We need to get you a copy of The Art of War by Sun Tzu, mate. You need to get that battle strategy.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite character? What house did you join?
The
Slytherin.
You made that joke last week. We're rehashing it.
Because Hugh keeps fucking talking about this game every time.
Oh, sorry, it's so long and
what was the other games you can play with them?
I haven't played Astral Chain yet. That's one I want to play, and I was going to play it today, but didn't get round to it. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, still chipping away at that. Like, I'm still trying to complete games I've been playing for weeks because Gears of War 6 is coming out next week.
5,
whatever.
unless you people are listening to this podcast,
it's technically the sixth
later,
one. Judgment counts. But like, waiting on that coming out.
Well then, in that case, Gears Pop counts, so it's Gears 7 this week.
God damn it. I haven't had a lot of time to play games last couple of weeks, but Fire Emblem's one I just keep chipping away at, and eventually I'll finish it and we'll talk about a different game.
Maybe one day. Yeah. If people still listen to podcasts in the year 2064, you know what I mean? Like, they have new things that just get drummed right into your head.
Yeah, because like, I'll be dead by then.
Cyberpunk still, yeah.
You'll be dead by the end of this podcast.
Dom, what you been up to, man?
Same with you with Fire Emblem, but I've been playing other games, a wee bit more nostalgic games as well. I say nostalgic, it's Resident Evil 2 Remake. Resi 2 was like one of my favourite games. I remember, do you know what I never played, but always watched my brothers play, and I was so much fun watching it, because you do get your scenarios, and when you play the next scenario, things have changed, locations have changed, and Titan comes through, or Mr. X, it's like people when you see all the memes going about. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous game, like really, really good looking.
I think they should definitely open it up to the community for mods.
So have you seen it has
Thomas the Tank Engine?
The reason why this game got made as well is because it's a fan made game, like
they demanded it, didn't they?
They demanded it, but it was like 2010. Someone had they basically says, "Oh, check what we're doing with Resident Evil on Unreal," and Capcom came in and shut it down like immediately. So you got to see trailer parts of that, of like them walking, like Leon walking up to the police station, things that you got to see in the trailer, like E3 when they were talking about it. And then they just sort of looked around and sort of got a feel of the room, and then just put up a wee thing saying, "Hey, if there's a game that you really want to see get remade, or have like done up like we've done with like Resident Evil, like the original, which one?" And like at the very top, 95% Resident Evil 2, and everything else below. Like,
I don't believe you, mate. I thought it was Mega Man.
You built it up so much. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Mega Man's. So what it looks like is they got the people that they basically shut down. They go, "Do you know what you should do? Like, maybe come help us do this and see how it goes." So what 2016 they mentioned about it, and then they released it for it. So everyone was really excited for it. I didn't get it day one though. I played the demo and I really liked it. I didn't get it day one because I think Devil May Cry 5 was coming out around, but then I was trying to save money, and I was like, I like my DMC more than I like my Resi.
Was that the one that got the one shot demo?
Yes.
People too, yeah.
Yes.
That was a weird idea. Like demo you can only play once.
But then you could just sign in a different account and stuff continue playing it, so they missed that.
I've still got it downloaded, I've never played the demo.
It's really like,
I'm too scared, I don't want to play it.
Atmosphere wise, it's one of the games, it's because it's off of the RE engine, so that's why it's like looks gorgeous, because it's basically like the RE7's engine, apart from being in first person, over the shoulder third person mode. Yeah. The graphics they've got on the zombies are crazy. And what they've done with this game as well, that it's a survival horror game. It's not blow everyone up and continue through like they made like in Resi 4 onwards, like Resi 4, 5 and 6. And then they went back to roots in 7 and sort of came back with this.
Yeah, I think a big part of making it a horror game is that you feel quite helpless, you know what I mean? If you've got a bunch of guns and you can shoot the shit out of them, then you're not going to really feel like there's any kind of sense of danger.
It's crazy what they do as well with like weapons, like your knife. Like in all the Resi games, if you've got a knife, you can sit and just like slice the zombies and you'll be happy. The knife breaks in this game.
Alright, okay.
So like you can use it as like, if a zombie grabs you can stab him and he'll fall back. It won't die. And then you can pull the knife out after him, but it's covered in blood, meaning you've only got one more shot of using that knife, which adds more like, I need this knife though to open up that box where the tape is, but if I get caught, I'm going to have to either get bitten or so you have to, but then you're feared because loads are coming, you've kneecapped one that's crawling up and grabbing you, you're like,
so your knife has got ammo.
I want to ask a question about that mechanic in computer games and what you think about it then. And I've got a kitchen knife in my house that was passed to me by my gran, and it still hasn't broke. So why can't you only stab somebody twice with it and it breaks?
You ever stabbed anybody?
How many zombies have you stabbed with this knife?
Not very many, but I'm pretty sure that if I did, it still wouldn't break.
It's still a fun game to play visually, and having like the voice acting is
not even just the resi.
Like Breath of the Wild.
In general, just in general, having
I don't like it. I don't like weapon.
Oh, you say like having a breakable
durability.
Yeah,
durability and things. Eventually,
they just serve to annoy me. It's just
I hate it too.
I thought it was
good. Fire Emblem as well.
I think it's good to have it in certain games. Like I thought it was brilliant in Breath of the Wild, personally.
Yeah,
because
you always saved your main weapon because you're like, I'm going to use this stick. It's like a fucking twig, and you're like, I've got a sword in here, an amazing sword. I don't want to use it against this guy in case I need it later. So all you were doing was going, I'm going to use these sticks in this club because I don't want to use my sword.
That's so crazy because I'm the opposite because I know I'm going to get another sword like that because the sword will always respawn in that place, so I can continue and just like go and have wild. But then I did put like 120 hours into Breath of the Wild.
But what if it doesn't?
I'm the same with you. Like,
I need to hold it.
I'm bad with like power ups and stuff like that in games because I'm like I'll need this eventually, and then you get to the end of the game and you've not used any of them. You know what I mean? Like,
but with Resi, it's like that. I think that's a perfect one for it as well. Is because it gives you the more feel of like you have to make those choices and split decisions because like sometimes you'll just panic and use it and you're like I didn't mean to use that, and then you have to take that zombie out to get your life back. But then there's other ones around you, so you're like wasting ammo, meaning you're depleted more bullets for like in case another swarm comes round for it and you're trying to get away. But it's
it does sound like it serves more of a purpose than just a regular game that has durability, which is annoying. And on the one hand, like swords for example, they do get blunted really quick in an actual fight, so it makes sense. But actually like breaking and stuff like that, it just gets annoying.
Yeah. With breaks is that if it dulled to the point where it didn't do damage,
less damage,
more as a
beaten stick than a slasher.
They came with
did they do that?
Just a metal pole.
Did they do that in The Witcher? Like, did the weapons get blunt?
I think they did, but I think they had a good level of. It wasn't like all the time. You didn't feel like you were constantly. Good for you.
Can't even hear it.
I was satisfying here.
Sorry, Hamish, you're saying?
Did you open your beer, Hamish?
It was because you didn't fucking invite me, and I specifically asked you to. It wasn't to the point where you felt it like you had to do it all the time. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like after every 3 fights you were like, oh, fuck's sake, my weapon's fucked again.
All I got is this twig.
Get the twig out.
Honestly, Breath of the Wild, you're like, I've got 99 sticks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use these sticks.
That's what about yourself, man. Like, what do you think of the durability? Yeah, durability.
I think
Durability.
that durability is something that should be of a sort of sharpness, bluntness aspect, and not a
break.
So Breath of the Wild, I understand that the idea of it was like, I don't actually really
understand why they've done
difficulty.
It's to stop you just getting the strongest weapon and powering your way through the game.
But then you could
the strongest weapon because it breaks.
Master Sword.
Well, see, what they did with DLC for the Master Sword for it, you can eventually do like all the side missions and get the Master Sword like full potential, meaning it's 100% and never breaks. So you do get one weapon that does do that. Well, the rest of them have like their own elemental sort of abilities, like your fire will help you melt ice so you can get the temples.
Once you get that Master Sword, you just fuck up Hyrule after that.
But as long as your health's full as well.
Is that not going to end game though? Like,
that's Game Plus. That's Game Plus, so you don't need to roll for it.
With Breath of the Wild, for the bit that I've put a fair chunk of hours into it, but then fell away from it.
Yeah.
With the weapons that you do have, I do feel that even like some of the cooler weapons that you can pick up, like you can get the Lionels that you can get like a sword off of them.
Yeah, is it the hook sword? Yeah.
I get a spear or something like that. But anyway, like, even their one, you think, how hard is it to defeat them? Like they're a challenge. Even if you are good at it, they're still a challenge to try and beat because they can hit you a couple of hits and you're dead.
Yeah.
You get their weapon and then it breaks after a couple of swings. Like
no,
just that wee cloud up. And it's even worse when you're caught in like a busy scenario. You don't even realise what's happening. You're like,
that's
shit,
it.
And you get no fucking weapon to hit.
And then they're all dancing. Who are doing it? Like, oh, stop dancing.
Dark Souls had durability, didn't it?
Of course it did.
I think that must do.
It's not like this game isn't fucking hard enough, but we're gonna break your weapon as well.
I was standing at the top of a mountain in Breath of the Wild and I pressed the wrong button. I was meant to bring out the bow and I just threw it. Threw my axe off this.
Every time, right on top of the Sheikah Tower. I think I restarted the game 3 times because I went to start it and then I put it down, forgot about it. I went to go start it again, put it down, forgot about it. And every time I got as far as the tower and right trigger in it, it's like the back.
launched your weapon.
Even worse is you're up high enough that if you do launch it, you will throw it off of the edge into the next zone you're not meant to get to yet.
Poor wee NPC just walking by. This is a lovely day. Jesus Christ!
That's an axe.
If I could hit someone with it would have been fine.
Worth it.
I took it. But, that's right. See, just on saying that though, have you seen the clips of the guy that does the reflection for the turret things?
The parries.
All of them in a row. Quickly he does one, pauses, changes. Every time he reflects, he flicks onto a different shield, and there's like 7 of them firing at once at him. So it's like pause, and he just launches them all back and kills all of them. It's just
see, watching speedruns of those games, or just anyone try to like one weapon, like no hearts and all that, and finishing going straight to Ganon. It's insane.
I've never played it, but I've seen the kind of dungeon rooms and some of the inventive ways that people come up to get to the end of it are really, really cool.
You should see someone doing like a speed run for that, because you have to hit those temples just so you can get to Ganon for it. But the way they sort of cheat to get in, they do rolls into the back of the towers, and you've got to do a mission to open them up, and they just glitch through to the bottom. And how do people figure that out?
Just running into things over and over again.
Exactly.
Breaks.
I also started Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, nice.
And we had a go at it when we all went to EGX. Me and Hugh stayed in line and had a wee go of it and enjoyed the demo bits they had for it. And I did play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 quite a lot.
Did you play the rest of them?
I did not play the rest of them.
I was going to say, is there not millions of them?
So I kind of fell off it after that, because it became a bit of a pain to understand what was going on. What's that? What kind of malt was that?
Are you pendering, mate? Try some?
I'm driving, sorry man.
I won't tell anyone.
On a recorded podcast. When we were playing it, the controls were brilliant, because Dream Drop Distance was the only other one that I had a wee go of when I was up at yours, Hugh. Sinead gave me a wee go of it, and I really, really liked that. It was like they've upgraded the controls, everything's fluid. Awesome. Visually it looks stunning. Soundtrack wise, for the fights, when you get into that, it's great, because before it used to fade to black and then fade into fights. It doesn't now, it's all seamless, it's brilliant. Apart from that, was it always that crappy and cheesy? So this is what I thought was really strange. They didn't lean hard into the Disney things, meaning that they took the Disney characters and the Disney settings a bit too seriously. From they need to be so for example, you start off with the Hercules place, and everything's like Hercules is I've got to save everyone, got to save all these people, and then when it goes to the organization 13 guys, Sora, all those other characters, they're goofy and stupid and
which is weird, because Goofy's meant to be goofy.
Goofy's meant to be goofy.
It's literally a person called Goofy.
And it's so bizarre. You'd think they would lean more on the serious side with that, because they've got a narrative coming from but their narrative's all over the place, so I don't know how they were going to focus it into one sort of point.
Do you think Disney told them you're not allowed to use the characters like this, you're not allowed to use the characters like that?
And I don't know if it's because I think
they probably would have some restrictions on it. I don't know what they would be like,
but it's more because it's more Pixar in this now, because a lot of them have you're getting Frozen, you've got Tangled, you've got Toy Story, so that's
only one of them is Pixar, mate.
What? Disney Pixar?
Yeah, but Frozen and Tangled are Disney, they're not Pixar.
They're not Disney Pixar?
No.
Well, it's still Disney, isn't it?
Mate, I've had this argument before with Sinead. She tells me all the time that just because it's CGI, Disney stole Pixar's, they didn't steal it because they own it, but their way of making films and just made it Disney as well. So Tangled and Frozen are just Disney.
I was going to say, I was playing you know this Cards Against Humanity game. I was playing Cards Against Disney last night with Raymond, Sinead and Lisa, and I was I'm sure I saw stuff about Elsa's frozen vagina and stuff like that in those cards, that's definitely Disney. And there was Tangled stuff as well, and I get
Tangled stuff in amongst the frozen vagina.
Can't be licensed then, because Disney wouldn't know that.
But it's crazy then with Pixar having such a prominent intro as well when the game started, because it was big Pixar came up at the start, so I'm thinking
it's the most popular films in it.
Must be Pixar in it. I mean, what's the other Disney?
Toy Story, and
Disney Pixar's Toy.
Monsters
Finding
Inc.
Nemo,
Monsters Inc. So that's it. Like, so that is a few that are in it.
Monsters Inc.
But there's regular Disney stuff as well, isn't there? Like Pirates of the Caribbean stuff.
Pirates of the Caribbean there, yeah, as well.
They also get the Disney rides as special attacks.
Yeah, which is so strange. So you seeing them out, like, you know,
Big Thunder
the
Mountain.
teacups and
Yeah,
stuff.
that was pretty cool. Like the first time I'd ever played any Kingdom Hearts game was when we were at EGX and played that demo. But I quite liked it.
Yeah, again, like, I'll see. I was streaming it on our Twitch channel, which was pretty good for it.
Did you put a link up?
See, I did put a link up, but me being the soy boy that I am,
Your words, not ours.
put up the link on our Instagram. That's is it at Patcherson?
Is it?
Patcherson Official. Is our Instagram, yeah.
Every week we get
something wrong. Patcherson Official, yep. I put in the link, which is twitch.tv/Patcherson Gaming, but the problem is that the links get taken away from it. But I got called out by our lovely guest, Ross.
Hello.
So I played that for a couple of hours, and I don't know, it was a bit earth-shattering to my... I was like, wow, did I always think that this game was good? Or was it just like... was it the gameplay I fell in love with rather than the story?
Remember, Kingdom Hearts 2 was 10
So
years ago.
you saying you're not a fan of Kingdom Hearts 3 then?
No, at the moment, no. Like, see the gameplay for it, I'm having a lot of fun with that, and like the progression of like Sora's abilities and that, because they've, as I said, they've integrated quite a lot of the cool features that they've had in previous games. But I'm not fucking playing all that just to sort of understand what it is. And they kind of, from what I've heard, is like they've done the 2.8. Like, this is what's happened. Sora's not got his powers. He's basically back to like, you know, when you got him in the first game. So you basically build him up again.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we'll kind of explain the plot for you. Just go and have fun. So that's how far I've got now. No Danny DeVito in it as well. Like for the he's like he's there. Like the
Satyr guy, wasn't he?
So he's there, and I'm like, Phil, what are you going to talk? And
How the fuck do you remember that?
Because
it's a badass film.
Because Phil is like the most plain, boring name, and that's not what you would call a satyr.
It wasn't just Phil, it was short for like
Alright, okay.
Phil minus, nah, it's not that.
Philocrates or something like that.
That's a lot better.
He was in it, but didn't say anything, and I was like, oh, they couldn't get Danny DeVito then, I guess.
That's a shame. I'm sure Danny DeVito voiced the old SNES or like the old Hercules games, man. Like,
It was PlayStation.
Whatever.
He did.
Velocities. Crotchety old satyr.
But yeah, I'll continue playing those two games. I've been enjoying Resi more though, but I don't know if it's because nostalgia of that and seeing it in a new set and new light, and just see when you shoot a zombie with a shotgun in that game, it's disgusting. It's absolutely vile. It's awesome because it's
satisfying.
Yeah, it's detailed. It's like you've probably seen the trailer part where they moved back one of the policemen's heads, and they censored it in, I think they censored it in Japan, which was crazy, with like his jaw. So he moves his head back and his jaw just sort of stays there in the Japanese version, but in the UK version, the European version, his jaw just unhinges, and it's just, you're like, because he's been dead for a while.
I totally zoned it there. Are we talking about Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, Goofy just goes nuts, man. I'll do it again.
His jaw just came off, like Sora's just wrecking people.
He runs around singing Evanescence.
Oh, don't.
Hamish, man, what have you been up to then?
Well,
nobody cares. You left me that wee open.
I was taking a drink.
That's new, innit?
Come on, guys.
This just in. Hamish likes to drink.
Take on the podcast. This just in.
You know what I played? Actually, I'm going to talk about this game, but it's just going to open me up to another slagging about drinking. I played Yoku's Island Express, right? And the first half of it I played, I don't remember because I was really blitzed, man. I was like, so
why do you start new games when you're drunk?
I don't know, man. It's like, that looks fun. So I went in there and I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's a weird game anyway, and it's even like the actual gameplay of it is weird. It's like a platformer with like pinball mechanics.
Okay.
So like there'll be
what is this on the Xbox, please?
It was on Xbox, but I think it's on Switch and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
Part of Game Pass, wasn't it?
But yeah, I think it was Game Pass. Yeah.
Nice.
I was literally just, I saw it there and I thought sometimes I like a game that I don't need to get too invested in the story and
you know, play when you're drunk.
Basically. But even when I was younger and used to go to arcades and stuff like that, I was never really a big fan of pinball. Like I was never good at it, basically.
You don't really get much pinballs around here.
It's not really a big thing.
Cups. It's generally
It's literally
the solid and Rufus.
Windows.
Windows. Oh yeah, Windows pinball.
I was like, oh shit, the internet's down. What can I play? Pinball. Like PC.
Best ever.
But yeah, so basically you'll go into these. Well, it's like a big open map that you can go around, but then there's sections where you actually need to. It's basically a pinball screen, and you need to hit certain things to unlock the next bit. It was actually a lot of fun. There's a lot more to it. Like there's a lot of collectibles and stuff like that, and I can't be bothered with that.
We should honest.
See every time like.
You said it like you could though.
No,
there's loads of collectibles and stuff, and I can't even bother.
Fuck that, anyways. And this is how I know. Apart from the fact that I don't remember playing this, I know I was really drunk. See, like obviously, if you like you're a wee dung beetle pushing a ball, and it's the ball that goes like you're attached to a rope. No, it is just a marble ball for some reason.
Maybe in the eyes of a dung beetle, but to everybody else it's shit.
But apparently you can paint it as well. I met this guy that he was like, oh, you bring me stuff, then I'll paint it, and I'm like, why? That's just weird. But obviously, if you fall down, it's like a wee thorn, and you go back up. But every like 3 times you do that, it cuts away to some screen, and there's a counter going up, and it's like how many times you've failed. And like the first time I remember playing it, which was the second time I played it when I was sober, I died, and then it was like 53, and I was like, I died 53 times last time I played this. I must have been fucking wrecked.
You must have said that. Just
the one eye open,
mouth open, going, it's fucking as they luck.
But no, it was actually quite a lot of fun. It's maybe like.
How do you know?
Well, I remember the second half. It was maybe like 6 or 7 hours or something like that. So it's quite a good wee game just to play casually.
Nothing to think too much hard about.
Yeah, it was good fun. Also, I just started just before you guys came round, Blair Witch.
Yeah, I seen you were messaging that one.
It was the other day I saw it on Game Pass, and I remember.
Just came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah,
like when you said that, I was like, we've seen the trailer for it, like for was it E3, and we were all saying, oh, it's probably.
It looks like Outlast. It looks like Alan Wake, yeah.
And then it came up. We were all like,
but I don't remember it even then having a release date. No, but I literally just saw new on Game Pass Blair Witch, and I was like,
yeah, that's weird. I didn't realise it would be on Game Pass either. Not that I'm interested in scary games.
I'm liking it. Like I've only put like an hour and a half in or something like that. But I mean, you get a dog, so that's good. Guess what the dog's name is?
Patchy.
No, that would be so good. That's Bullet. Bullet.
That's a reference no one's going to get.
Yeah, that's definitely a purely Scottish reference. But no, it's a lot of fun. Like I'm definitely getting Outlast vibes, especially like now I've found the camcorder and stuff like that. But it's also kind of supernatural, obviously, because it's Blair Witch. That goes without saying. But you look at tapes and then you change the environment. So like the very first bit is you're part of a search party trying to find this kid that's walked into the woods like a fucking moron, and.
You need to have a fucking moron to start a horror movie. If you don't have a fucking moron, you get no horror movie, because you need that stupid cunt that runs up the stairs instead of leaving out the front door.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
Or somebody that doesn't know how to switch the lights on. Like, what the fuck?
But it's like
the electricity bill. I'm out of here.
So you play the video and then you pause it at certain times, and that will change the actual reality of the game.
Right.
So I did that and then found this cop car that the kid was playing with in like a wee toy. He was playing with in the video, and then you let the dog smell it to find the trail and stuff like that. But there's also, like, again, I'm not far into it, but the guy that you play as, you see like wee flashbacks and stuff like that, and when you're talking to the other people on the walkie-talkie, you get a kind of rough idea. He's got some kind of mental problems. Like you pass out at one point, and it goes like you pass out for like hours, and that's how it gets into darkness. And I'm like, alright, shit, light on, curtains open, shit's about to get real. See when I very first started it, you know how in games you get the wee marker, it's like a wee white circle that shows you, someone over there can see you.
Yeah.
The very first thing that happened when I loaded in the game is like I walk forward and then I see that, and it turns out it was just to tell me where my dog was, but I was like, fucking hell, there's something there already. But no, it seems like a lot of fun. And Hugh, I know you're not a big fan of scary games, but see, for the first like half hour, you're just walking around the park with your dog. It's really quite nice.
That's also scary.
Oh, you don't like dogs, do you? But
he doesn't like parks. He's scared of parks.
Trees.
Walking.
Charlie Charlie's in the trees walking. But yeah, like, I mean, if you're afraid of games, then a nice wee.
Afraid of
monsters, Hamish.
For the first half hour, it's a nice wee dog walking simulator.
That's it.
It's good time. Like,
dog walking simulator.
Dom, you can just be like, Paige, I'm taking my other dog out. I'm sorry.
She was that and just look at him.
Motherfucker.
I think I've also been playing Shadow of Mordor, the Game of the Year edition. Just again, it's on Game Pass, and I was like, I loved that game. It was really good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I've finished the story, just going through like the DLC and that now.
Yeah,
but it's another one of those games. There's loads of collectibles and.
Yeah, I've played it as well, and like I'm at a point where I'm like 99% done, and the last things are just like so much effort to get. Cannot be arsed doing it.
See, one thing I find annoying is like you liberate slaves. And then once you
wait, there is no need for such a pause after that statement.
I liberated some slaves. Ungrateful.
Fucking hated it.
You liberate some slaves.
Silence.
So you liberate slaves, and then you get a mission, right? And there's like.
Do you catch them again?
No, well, there's two annoying things. One thing is it's the same mission every time. It's you go up and you cut them free, and then there's some bonus objective like get so many headshots, kill so many this way. But there's like something like 23 of those missions and 16 main story missions, and it's like they obviously just done that because it's easy to just cut and paste this same fucking mission.
It's a surprisingly short game, isn't it? You think it's going to be quite long, and because it's a big open world. It's
originally when I played it through the first time, again, has everybody out here played it?
Yeah.
So again, first time playthrough, as short as the story was, like you said, there was enough extra things in there that they do get quite repetitive, but I'd done enough of them to go, this is repetitive now, finish the story, and I still felt like, do you know what, actually that was still really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed, even though they were very repetitive, the overall feel of the game and the scene was still really well done.
I enjoyed the fight with Salon.
Yeah.
A lot of people were going, and then he just shows up, it doesn't make any sense. But it was cool to see Salon just like not like just an eye, it's like the actual fight. That was pretty cool.
It was kind of short, but cool.
It was a short fight, but that was anyway. But then it was still cool that you got to
actually see
army with you.
It was weird because it felt really short. And then I was like, oh no, is it going to be long? Because you're just in a section of the map, and I was like, I've done everything here. And then I remembered, oh wait, there's a whole other map that you actually go to down the south. So you think if this is as long as the first part, then it's going to be quite a long game. But then it's not. Like the second part is much shorter than the first one.
Because that's
kind of weird.
Nice and all that compared to
for it as well.
But I mean, I like, it's actually inspired me to watch the Lord of the Rings films again.
Yeah.
And I actually tweeted because.
That shouldn't require inspiration, that should just be
I know. It's something.
I can't believe you tweeted as well.
Well, I know. It's my once in a 6 month tweet.
Were you drunk when you tweeted it?
I was, yeah. That's the only time I tweet. And
every time I wake up, it's like 7 in the morning, and I go on Twitter, and it's like Hamish posted 2-3 hours ago, and it's like Hamish posted 4 hours ago, Hamish posted 4.5 hours ago, Hamish posted 3 hours ago.
So what were you tweeting?
Well, I was asking people, and I want your opinion on this. If you're going to watch Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films, chronological Hobbit 1, 2, 3, Lord of the Rings, or do you go Star Wars style 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3?
I would go
Lord of the Rings, then Hobbit.
Yeah, I would say that because I didn't really like the Hobbit movies.
I thought they were alright.
The first one was really fun. There's you can watch it, the Tolkien edit. I don't know if you've seen that of the Hobbit movies, where it's more towards the book.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Whose phone was that?
Sorry, I got a Snapchat. I'm the host this week. I'm allowed to. Just some very important information about things we're going to talk about. Gamescom.
So I would say like the Tolkien edit's a lot fun to watch that because it's like 4 hours long, but it's condensed all the movies closer to the book.
Alright, okay. I've got the extended editions, so I'm watching all of them.
It can take a while, man.
I think
the Hobbit movies were a lot of filler for it. Like
I
just like being in that world.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the other two. Hobbit 2, wasn't it?
Because there was 3
of them, so I watched the first one when it came out.
The Seven Armies.
When I was younger in school, one of the things I did in school in English was wrote an essay review of the book of The Hobbit. And it was brilliant, thoroughly enjoyed it. can barely remember any of it because I read it once and was like, I'm never doing that again. Because at the time it was an absolute challenge.
Was it like an English report? Because I did the exact same thing, I think, as well for it. And then, like
English book report for that.
My teacher did like the impressions of Smeagol and all that. Like,
cool.
I remember that. It was like the guy looked like Lurch. I don't know if you remember him. Like, he was a sub teacher. You might have remembered him in English, like in the academy.
I don't know.
He was a big tall guy, bald, and he was like just watching him, just going like he was talking about he was talking like doing the Hobbit voice, like old Cameron, and he'd go and he was like, hey, and he'd get in the character like, whoa, this guy's intense.
He's going for it.
Good on you.
So what? You're what? How many years out of school? Still remember that?
Since 2000. Well, you left 2005, didn't you?
3 was it?
Yeah, you were a year above me.
I keep forgetting we went to the same school.
I was 2006. Me, Hugh.
That's 2005 must be. I'm sorry.
I'd strongly like that. There is good teaching capabilities.
Because I do. That's why I think
so memorable.
Yeah. And then because at the time Lord of the Rings movies were out about then for it really sort of captured. Like, I think that's the reason. There must have been the reason why they were sort of like, we'll do the Hobbit then, and people remember because it used to be pure beardy. It was always like weird people always like, oh man, you need to read all of Lord of the Rings and Gandalf, and you're like,
stack of books that high.
Fuck that, I'm not doing that. But
I read them all.
I would really like to, like being mature and everything. Well, attempting to be mature and all that. I would like to try and get through the books and things.
Just need to get through those reading lessons first.
I just need to learn it.
I mean, like, I know the classes as well, man, because we just like last week we discovered that I'm not very intelligent either. So
last week,
we found that out ages ago.
See that I'm not good with time either. Are you pointing at my flaws in this podcast? But that was like the books. Like I'm not huge into reading that, but I did read them all and I really enjoyed them. I don't know if it was just the way Tolkien just sort of took you in the journey and that. You're like, this guy knows how to write. And gets you in that world.
Watching that first one, I liked it. There was a lot of things that were like twigged in my memory from watching the film. Like, I remember this, but then there was also a lot of things where I was like, I'm sure is there not another bit in between here? And I felt like I don't think I've ever had that whole the book's different from the film sensation in myself. I've never read any of the Harry Potters before the movies came out. I didn't read Twilight before the films came out.
Oh, so you poor bastard, man! You poor bastard.
Who watched them?
Yeah,
we did, mate.
I fell asleep every single time.
I got tricked into seeing Twilight in the cinema. And I was like, someone's like, it's got vampires on it, alright sound. And I came out angry. I just remember
it changed vampires, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, because vampires were cool.
Watching that, the thing that pissed me off the most was at the end of it, everybody clapped.
Whoa.
Of all the films that you would clap at the end of, which is none, that's definitely not one of them.
Yeah, but you need to think that these are Twilight fans, so
Stephanie Myers fans.
Yeah, so
like the fucking
don't know when to and when not to fucking clap at a movie.
Like the people that clap when the plane lands.
Oh, don't get me started.
Ridiculous. But anyway,
I would watch it that way personally myself. I would, if I had to watch it like in order, it would be Tolkien edit, then the originals, or originals then.
See, I started watching the Fellowship of the Ring was the first one, and then just everyone that I asked was like, nah, watch it, chronological Hobbit first, and then
you don't even really need to though, because there's not that, but it's not like the way that they've tried to do Star Wars now, where they've tried to do that it immediately leaves off where the next one starts. It doesn't really do that. Like, you've got
it is a different story.
You've got the Hobbit and he finishes that, and then you've got
Bilbo, Bilbo being older.
The confusing thing about the way these were set up though is because they did the Lord of the Rings first, in the Hobbit there's references to things in Lord of the Rings, even though it chronologically
hadn't happened yet.
So like Legolas is in it, so when Legolas came on the screen in the Hobbit, you're like, oh no, fuck, it's Legolas from Lord of the Rings. But you wouldn't have that like,
you shouldn't have known that was him.
Like there's characters you'll notice, you're like, oh, they were in Lord of the Rings, or they've got a bigger part in this.
Yeah, that's something that I was actually going to touch on. Like, I forgot, because it's been up, like, I saw the Hobbit, it must have been when it first came out, but like, I totally forgot Gollum was in it and stuff like that. Then there's characters, I'm like,
because Gollum gets a big part in that one as well, with riddles and stuff like that, because that's like one of my favourite parts of that movie. Well, they did
Trixie
Hobbitses. Anyway, like, he's confused on his face, the way Circus just emotes that as well.
Good as Andy Serkis.
He's fucking brilliant, man.
But
are we going to get a wee Gollum impression, Hugh?
Oh, Hugh, give us
try to get an impression out of you on these podcasts, but
no.
Need a few more Copperbergs.
I honestly thought he was going to do like a Jar Jar impression.
That's what it would come out as. That's how it would come out as.
That's what every single one of Hugh's impressions come out as. Let's hear some Stallone. Let's hear some Schwarzenegger here.
I can only do one thing with the voice.
I can only do one thing.
Okay, so we've talked enough shit. We've talked a lot of shit actually.
Actually, yeah, man.
So Hugh, why don't you tell us a bit about Gamescom?
Ooh.
Well, I didn't watch any of it when it happened.
Dom, why don't you tell us a bit about Gamescom?
Well, I didn't watch any.
Fuck, neither did I. Like, we need a fucking research assistant.
But I did watch a lot of trailers after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay, what stood out to you the most?
Ooh.
How shit the Avengers looked.
Are we starting with that?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
I might as well get the crap out of the way first.
What was
Did
yours?
you actually watch it?
Yes.
Like, not just the E3 stuff that we've seen before.
No,
All the new
I
footage of the fighting and the.
I didn't watch any of it. I just decided to come here and know you. No, I watched it and it just.
So to say that it's shit is unfair. It's not shit. It's just not what you would hope that it would be.
Did you think it was underwhelming? That's so.
Yeah.
I felt very like
super underwhelming.
Oh, are you guys just like, oh well, it's the Avengers, it's a huge film franchise, so the game should be amazing as well?
No,
Like, is that not putting unfair expectations on it?
true,
One of the biggest franchise in the world right now. But the thing is, when you watch how the game plays, it's so slow and it's so repetitive.
Do you know the thing is? It feels like you've seen it before and you don't expect that.
I've seen it before
Yeah.
because it's God of War.
But God of War had like different combat. I watched the Thor gameplay.
Not really. God of War did not have different combat.
I watched Thor play, and he did the same combo 4 times in a row. Punch, sidekick.
Now, with that, right, in fairness, it was the same 4 combos. It was also demo footage of somebody playing it, so they might not have been wanting to give away the sort of things that they could do, so they might have been keeping it basic.
Hopefully.
I mean, I'm trying to just be open-minded about this here, and so that they do have more to show.
It's one of the biggest franchises in the world, from one of the biggest companies in the world, like games developers. It's Square Enix.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy 15 looks better than this game. That game came out 3 years ago.
But you got to remember it's still in development for it. But from what I seen, I was very I was just deflated by it, unfortunately. And it's because you think again, you've got all these properties as high as they are. Avengers being the greatest selling movie of all time now.
Yeah.
For it, you'd think it'd be, I don't know, as you said, maybe my expectations are a bit too
that's
high for
unfair.
it.
I mean, the games and movies are different media, especially we've seen what games based on movies are like, and it's not really based on a movie, it's based on just Marvel comics and that. But
that I've not actually thought about is the difference between when you take a film and make it a game, it's restricted by what the film has.
What
they have to
narrative
make
they've
a game
got.
around it.
Yeah.
And it's that year when I was younger was so prominent in games. You could notice when you watch a film, like something stupid like, let's say Shrek for talking's sake, right? They brought a Shrek.
How dare you say Shrek is stupid? Shrek is a
body.
What I'm saying though is that when you watch Shrek, right, if you hadn't played the game, you could see by watching Shrek exactly where the game developers, if they were making a game, would then put in the bad guys to fight.
Yeah.
Like you'd be able to see exactly the moments where they pan across this next bit. Well, the game's not going to pan. The game's going to have the bad.
They've got this travelling from one to point.
They would have to be restricted to that because it has to be within the parameters of the film.
Yeah, the logic of the movie, the flow of the movie. Yeah.
Whereas with this, it's its own story. It's not the MCU.
Yeah, because even looking at the character models, they're not based on Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth and stuff like that.
They found the ugliest models they could find.
I know. Fucking hell, man. The most unthorly like Thor.
That's so you buy the other costumes.
This is more hobo Thor than Thor looked in fucking Endgame. Literally went. Do you know what was really good about that? It was his whole face and the whole rugged. We're just going to shave the belly off him and just fucking throw him in the game. And we're also going to do it from the recording from our phone from the film, so it's all pixelated as fuck.
I think my problem is I expected it to be
good.
I expected it to do something new.
Like what?
Well, I expected not to just be God of War, like a slower version of God of War.
Do you know what?
Where the Avengers coat paint on it, especially when this game's been in development for 3 years? 4 years?
What's wrong with God of War?
Nothing.
God of War is a great game.
It looks better than this.
It shouldn't be the basis of another game.
What I was
It's the
expecting.
same combat designer. I wrote that down.
Aye.
What I was expecting.
I wrote that down.
I wrote it down.
That's my note.
Also, I have other notes, and
Got to be true.
it's going to get weird.
Okay, it was getting really weird.
Hey, I mean, they're definitely going to be better than my notes. See, when I was talking about Blair Witch,
No.
here's my Blair Witch notes. Doggo, bullet. That's the entirety of my Blair Witch.
What I was maybe expecting was a bit more multiplayer aspect for
this
it.
is what I'm
Well,
going
aye.
There's the hero missions are solo, the Warzone missions are 4-player co-op, and do you know what game they compared it to? Destiny. It's a looter. That's what they keep saying. There's loot in this game, and you're like, look for the Avengers.
So
what the
see-
fuck? Where you go, you get a better hammer?
And they also said as well that
Stormbreaker was a better hammer.
I'd be
Not
able to
in
find
this.
it in there.
Like one hammer,
find
that's
it
the loot.
you find it in Skyrim.
There's legend, there's rare loot and
Skyrim.
common
Get the
loot.
mod.
But what, like now that you're touching on that, it's something I want to say. Like, obviously, when we saw the E3 thing, everyone was like, "Oh, you're basically like a rail shooter.
yeah,
you're on
rail.
this thing," but that's clearly not what it was because that was
No.
It's not
tutorial
open world
stuff.
either though.
It's not open world, but there's main missions and then there's side missions which are co-op. Like,
It's expansive world, they've called it.
That was the actual quotation.
but that's a lot better than what people originally
Aye.
thought. So
What do you think they're just wording that differently, just so they can say it's not what you think? It's expansive rather than saying it's basically Destiny.
No, I think
It's going to
you
be
know,
Destiny, except you can
Well-
buy the stuff, the loot.
I think what you should take away from that is it looks better than the last time we saw it, so
Yeah.
there's no reason to believe that it wouldn't be better when we actually see more of it or when
Yeah,
it
but do you not think it's fair to look at that and be disappointed?
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Because there's trailers that come out and you're not disappointed by them,
Yeah.
and you can say, well, that's alpha.
But
that
then
depends.
there
on,
are
like-
also trailers that aren't Marvel related where you're not as picky.
yeah, exactly. Like I think
No, well,
I think that
if you'd
us especially, we are really scrutinized.
If you'd have put any
products.
product on that, I would have said that looked bad.
I don't think
Not
it-
just
no,
because
I-
it's Avengers.
I think it's coming down to your expectations. I think you want something.
If you show
better.
me a bit of combat and say, oh, this game's all about the combat and stuff like that, and then he does the same combo 4 times, I'm like, well, there's not going to be much fucking...
Yeah, so basically
choice in this.
if you showed me like a Devil May Cry game and all Dante done was just his regular slash attack on every single enemy, then I'm like, that's not like, you know.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance,
But
it
then you put the-
looked like you were playing that because you're just bashing the button
What
and they do
about-
the same combo over and over.
What about like one of the older Final Fantasy games, a turn-based game? That's you've got like 4 attacks and then 4 specials or something like that. Like,
No, you got women. That.
well,
The-
you know what I
No,
mean.
no,
You've got a set amount of attacks that are always the same. Did you ever scrutinise it for that?
Well, how old is that game?
There's obviously
Any
there's,
one of the particular.
there's
ones?
more.
I honestly, I think
examples.
Final
I think I
Fantasy
know what
15.
Hamish
There's more
Aye.
recent examples.
Aye.
That's just the first one that I plucked out of my head.
Yeah,
But
so
the point is, you can't like look at.
But
a
this
game
is
and
an
go,
action adventure game. It's not an RPG.
no, but
Right, but
Hamish
there's
made a point.
there's still plenty other games like that.
Yeah.
And even if you have a pure expansive list of combos, there's a name for it. But basically, you'll find the best one that's the most effective, and you'll use that over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
Maximum combo.
how many do you want?
More than one.
More than one. Aye.
Well, there's obviously going to be more than one. There's no way you can
that's
sit
the
here and
thing.
say that there's only
It's
going
a
to be one
trailer.
combo.
It's meant to show off the best parts of the game so far. Like,
But it
I'm
can't
trying
show
to
off
tell
everything.
No,
Like,
it could show off
more.
a good thing.
Aye.
Like,
If they're not
Game looked like-
particularly, maybe they're just not thinking about showing that off. Maybe they're not thinking people want to see what this is like.
They want to see what it looks like.
They maybe heard the criticism from it being, like on a rail. So they're like, oh well, let's show that it's got main missions and side
Maybe you
missions
can
and
run
co-op
about
and
before
that.
you can move
That maybe
left,
never
you know.
even crossed their mind.
I would give a smaller game.
Wait.
I'm gonna
indie game.
Wait.
sparking a weekend. I'm cracking over a cold one.
That's a thing, Ross.
You would know if you listen to our podcast.
Don't be so mean.
You don't listen to our podcast.
I do. I edit them. I hear them like at least once.
I'm sorry, Ross.
I'll run it back in there. So Avengers, not even Avengers AD. One of the things that was very, very noticeable, especially with Captain America and Thor, was that the combat was very much God of War. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's very noticeable.
Have you all played God of War?
Yeah.
First fight against the stranger. I won't say who the stranger is because it's a spoiler, but that's like the best way you open a game ever. Like I loved that fight. Like, what's wrong with that combat? Like,
No, I'm not saying
That fight
there's
was
nothing
just
wrong
like
with the
that,
combat. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the combat. There's no part where I say that the combat's bad. All I'm saying is that it looks like God of War. If you want to bring out your own game, don't make it look like other games.
Yeah, but it's because
it
God
just
of War was so
didn't-
popular for it. But then it's
But
no,
because
you
it's been
The other thing
developed.
I had an issue with is the fact that you're supposed to be Thor. God of Thunder. Why do you need to punch a man 5 times and then hit him with your hammer before he falls down? Like, you're supposed to be...
It was set in the first Thor when he lost his powers, right? he's literally just a guy with a hammer. He's just like a serial killer now.
That serial killer.
Just described the hammer out of B&Q and just went wild on someone.
It's definitely one I'm going to watch. I mean, right now, if you were to ask me, are you going to pre-order or buy or whatever? Right now, no, I'm not. I'm definitely want to see more of this.
If it improves, you might.
It doesn't look like a AAA game.
It's not even. I mean,
and it should be the AAA game.
There's been a bridge. That's literally it. There's been a bridge and a bit of a. Was it even still in the bridge where he pushes the thing? So it's all literally been the bridge. Yeah. So there's not really much more.
But then that's because that's the start of the game. Well,
that's what you can say, right? The PR's been pretty bad with it. They've created trailers that don't look that great. Because when Spider-Man was coming out, compared to another Marvel game, like the trailers made that game look fucking phenomenal. Like they knew what things people wanted to see.
Yeah, they knew that they wanted to see Spider-Man
web swinging,
looking awesome, looking like Spider-Man.
They didn't really show off like the Avengers are like grand, like the big crazy attacks and stuff. And it was just like, let's do the same shitty the same 4-hit combo.
I've literally just seen Thor take out an entire army in Endgame, and then you see him getting like jumped on by like 5 guys. An army of killer aliens.
Maybe that's what it is. It just doesn't seem like you don't see any big attacks.
That's bringing it back to the point that I made. You guys are expecting too much because you're comparing it to the film and what you would love to see.
Maybe that is what it is. Maybe I'm subconsciously.
But this is all you're hearing from when Thor's hitting it.
You can't hear
Where's
that.
the tongue?
Wait. Ding. And that's it. The sound effect I thought.
What should it sound like?
Like metal smacking face.
Which sounds like what?
Don't know, I'm not sure.
Anyway,
I've literally got a full size replica of Mjolnir through there. I'll spam one.
Is it made of metal?
No.
Well, it's not going to be realistic then, is it?
Yeah, but
he's worthy. He's going to hold it and smash it.
He's not worthy.
I can lift it, so.
You can also lift that can of Stella.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my defence when I'm in core. Like, I can't be that bad a guy. I can lift Mjolnir.
You're looking at the Stella can like, I'm still worthy.
Well, agree to disagree on the trailer because I think it's a bad trailer. It doesn't show off the parts of the game that would attract me to it.
I'm not saying definitively it's going to be a good game. You can't know that.
But I'm just judging on what they've shown.
All I'm
so
saying
far.
is you should keep an open mind, but you seem very set on trashing it.
I'm trashing the trailers. The trailers are terrible.
Last point about it, right? Because we're all going to agree here, is that they've got microtransactions for cosmetics.
No, I don't mind that because cosmetics. No, because if it. The only reason when I don't like microtransactions is when it gives someone an edge over like a competitive game mode or something like that.
Wasn't that what you were saying about Battlefront 2? Well, that's not an argument.
Battlefront 2?
Battlefront 2.
When were we
with the
talking
cosmetic
about?
A long
stuff,
time ago.
with the cosmetic stuff that you can get in Avengers, what they were saying was things like you can get like costumes for the characters. I'm quite interested to hear what those would be. I'm a sucker for wanting to unlock new outfits for people, but I'm not going to pay for Tiger Stripe Hulk.
Do you remember when you used to get that stuff for like completing challenges and that? And now they want you to pay like £2 and £3
Yeah, but you don't have to.
I can guarantee.
It doesn't matter. Like, it used to be part of the game and they've removed it and they're making you pay extra for it now.
I can guarantee
that's the problem.
That Spider-Man is going to be exclusive PlayStation stuff for everything. Any cool, awesome looking Spider-Man costumes. But that's even if Spider-Man's going to be in the Avengers. Because like I've not seen him. I don't remember seeing him in any trailers.
He's not been in it yet. But then that could be something that obviously they're only showing you the main, so they're only showing you
before whatever happens.
Square Enix is making this game, and I think it's Square Enix Canadian studio that they own, Montreal maybe. And
I think they're called
Spider-Man's
Square Enix A.
Square Enix A.
How's that?
What does A stand for?
The Spider-Man contract's obviously with Sony. Only with Sony. And Spider-Man's like as big on his own as the Avengers are like together. So
as well.
I don't think he'll be in the game.
So what else interests you, man? After
you just won't care about us. FIFA 20.
You're right, we don't move on. What else?
It's getting an indoor mode, and the trailer was fucking shite.
Oh man, you saw watched the gameplay trailer for it where the worst CGI was was added into, like, you think with people who have got the likes of the Frostbite engine at their fucking fingertips would be able to make a decent CGI cutscene for a
it was so cringy.
game.
It was like, man, why do you even need a CGI trailer? Just show me them playing football. I go, well, that's what I want to do.
It's because they spend a lot of the money on the clothes on the players for it. So like, remember like in FIFA 19, if you paused like when a player moved, their shirt moves slightly off them. That's where a lot of the money went to in Frostbite engine for that game. The rest of the time their faces are pure messed up.
see the way they talk though, like see their patter.
The patter.
It's very woke Twitter patter.
I tell you what they've got, right? They've got one of each race, one of each accent, just to make sure they don't offend anybody. But then on top of it, they've got a wee American coach telling them how to play football, what they think of football, so they could get an idea as to how to write this bit. Because he's talking about like, you can't just play one-on-one, you need to play as a team. Like,
and there's that wee Swedish guy.
Have you ever played football? Like fucking.
There's a wee Swedish guy that keeps trying to like nutmeg people.
He's no Swedish. He's English.
No, he sounds Swedish.
Yeah.
I think he's Swedish.
He's like posh English, and the other guy's like Cockney English.
He was like kept nutmegging.
Is he not Irish? And the
right, Jesus Christ, is he Swedish, Irish, American?
It's got that many nationalities. I don't fucking know.
Like, but he kept nutmegging people and then celebrating and like, I can nutmeg any of you, and it was
he
like,
didn't nutmeg him though. He didn't. What is it called? A panna.
But like, that's not the point of football. Like, it's fun. I like doing it. Like,
is this part of the story mode by any chance?
It's a story. It's called Volta. You said that, I didn't know this, but it's like the organisation.
It's one of the professional leagues that do your freestyle, basically FIFA Street. It's FIFA Street being brought back, but there is an official tournament, and the tournament name is.
Is it basically like an NBA Jam or NBA Street?
Yeah, FIFA Street.
FIFA Street style.
It's FIFA Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, I've wrote down here my notes: Volta, hilariously bad trailer.
End of FIFA Street mode. Are they done with the journey then, the Alex Hunter thing?
No, I think they're going to keep going with that. But this is a new thing.
Separate.
But they sell a journey pack, which is like the 3 games that he's been in. So
you can buy last year's FIFA for a penny.
Dom, what about yourself? What was the standout for Gamescom for you?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Good answer.
Yeah, visually looks stunning. Story wise is interesting. Boy, Keanu in it, man.
Yeah, there's no bad parts I can see about it, man.
Like we were saying,
then see like fishing.
Are you and your fishing? Every fucking game we play, like,
fish.
Can you fish in it?
You can definitely rate a game these days by the level of
Fire Emblem. You can fly.
Flash. You can flash.
You can flash in Fire Emblem.
Flash in
Fire Emblem.
You can fish in Fire Emblem.
Good to know. You can flash.
You can fish in Final Fantasy 15 as well. Do you know what game you can't fish in? Avengers.
How do you know?
We're off that subject, you.
Which one of them can fish?
Namor could literally talk.
He's
fish.
not an Avenger.
But he's still in Marvel. He's Marvel property. Like,
why are you jumping back to
that? We're going way off. Way off. Like.
What was your favourite part of Cyberpunk 2077?
Well, did we see anything new from Cyberpunk at Gamescom that we didn't know about?
Yes.
Like within an ID or anything like that?
I like to see the visual, like it's just that sort of visual that they've got for it, like Blade Runner-esque mixed in with Deus Ex. It's insane.
It's all neon lights. And
it's like
Akira style vision.
Yeah, Akira, little Tokyo sort of style, mixed in with like like obviously a post-American sort of takeover, or it has some sort of like
California.
Future. Yeah, it's like I think it is supposed to be California, but it's
isn't that like the first thing that the guy says? Like, my city was voted the worst place to live or something like that. Like, so yeah, it's California.
What do you think of them?
Some of the stuff that I had noticed, the things I can remember from what they've mentioned about that deep dive video that they've done, was that you're going to have, prior to your character, so your character's pre-production, the history. You're going to choose a background for them, and depending on what background you choose, you're then going to be able to then go on and do different dialogue choices whilst you're talking to people. Some of them was it Street Kid,
Corporate, Street Kid, and Nomad.
Was three.
Look at Hugh just rhyming them off from the top of his head.
Look at all these notes I've wrote.
There was the 3 of them that they showed you in the demo, right? Whether or not there's going to be more than that as a background, but those were 3 that you could see that you could pick from that would then demote the different types of dialogue options you would get. Some of the nice touches that I really liked, where there's like 2 or 3 scenes. One of them you get into you see the character get into the bath, and there's like a pop up for just a single word comment that you press X and they'll say whatever they're saying. I'm assuming with those you just don't press it, she doesn't say anything, he doesn't say anything, you know. So wee things like that, or one of the voodoo grabs your arm, pulls you, and he's going to jack you in, and you get the option to like pull your hand away, but it like pops up like a QT, and you've got like a wee, so that was like just a couple of wee extra things there where you're like,
because it's very like Heavy Rain sort of mixed with Mass Effect. Like it seems like it's got like all the good ideas that they've had from all these games and sort of meshed it into one without them conflicting with each other.
I do like that in an RPG, like in like Fallout and stuff like that. I do it quite well. Like if you've got an intelligence perk or a science perk or a medicine perk, you get these additional dialogue options. Like, I do like that because it's
and it's a raw chance if like, you know, they work on that. Like they had that with like KOTOR, with like the Old Republic. They had that sort of way.
Well, this one is heavily based on, I mean, obviously it comes from the Cyberpunk 2020 tabletop RPG. The stat system in this is very much for tabletop RPG. It is very much that style of stat system. So you've got like constitution for your health and things. So they definitely lay on that an awful lot.
You get 2 classes as well, hand to hand or hacker, but then later on in the same one they said there's no fixed classes.
There's no fixed classes. There are,
but then they said there's 2 classes.
There are there's templates of which you can work around. So there are styles of play. So you've got things like they mentioned that there's net runners, or there was a solo thing that they had mentioned about it as well. Basically, your net runner would be more of a hacker, so they're going to be the sort of person that's going to rely on being able to override the technology.
I think we get hacking.
You're going to be able to override.
But what I want to know is it going to be 90s movie hacking? Like, hold on, I'm gonna hack into this system.
No, mate, this is electric looking laser wires to the back of a cyborg's head, hacking like
very
literally
Matrix
sort of works into the back. Oh man, what was so there's like a guy fighting in a ring with a mech robot, and he hacks it to like just knock him out.
It's like a training dummy, and like, he hacks it, so it just takes his jaw clean off.
The whole game is going to be able to be played from start to finish.
Oh, that's good. I like a game that can be played from start to finish.
I was literally having to grab breath. There was pause.
You guys jumped into my sleep thing here.
You stopped for like a good 5 seconds. I don't like that you need free slaves.
I was composing a thought, right?
I was taking a breath.
Trying to be eloquent.
Anyway, so I've fucking lost my train.
So you can play this game from start to finish.
Yeah, you can play this game from start to finish without killing anybody. They wanted to emphasise the fact that this is going to be how you want to play it. So if you want to play it,
I'm going to murder loads of people.
I'm going to totally tear the fucking town. The city's going to be upside down, but I'm done with it.
It's so hard to play a game with no killing, because like eventually you're going to get surrounded and you're going to be like, fuck this. That's gone by now.
I mean, it depends how they do it. See if they do it where it actually makes sense in the story, fair enough. But see games like Dishonored, you're like, why wouldn't I just kill these fuckers?
Do you know what? Dishonored was a fantastic no-kill because they gave you excuses for why this person was no longer there anymore without killing them, so they sent them away off to the barracks or whatever.
Blackmailed them or whatever.
With this, from the looks of it, that's going to be something that will be very similar, where you're going to have the opportunity to kill them or not kill them. So like boss fight, for example, it shows you a boss fight with Sasquatch at the end of this one. And
Jason's in the game, man.
Jason is in the game, and he's got smaller tits.
You've looked at the time, you're like, he's not going to listen now.
Wow. So you fight Sasquatch, and at the end of it they get downed, and I think it's from like they tried to hack you, but you then, I think you, from looking at the way that it's done, it's like you sort of partially hack them back, so it's like counter hack or whatever.
Counter. It's like hacking, like, you know, basically like hackers fighting. Hack fight.
You ever played Nier Automata?
Yeah.
Where you're hacking something, but it's like a shooting mini game, and if you lose it, you don't hack it. If you win it, you hack it.
Something else did that really well as well, wasn't it? I think it was Metal Gear Acid.
Something else.
Maybe Nier Automata. I think it was
Metal Gear Acid.
It gives you the option to you can shoot her, she die, that's hard, you defeated it, or you know, there's the option to let her live. So it would be interesting to find out, you know, how does that then affect? Does she then just go back and have a fucking grudge against you?
and then try to get revenge.
If you were ever to meet her later on, are they going to have less respect because you didn't kill her, or is it going to cause confrontation?
Or is it going to be beneficial for you later?
Or later on, is it going to be like a mark of respect where like, okay, you beat me fair dues in combat?
Or you spared me, so that way
one of the things they did mention was that the animals, the gang that's in it, they are heavily based on combat and strength upgrades. That's what they, every one of them's massive and ripped.
Yeah, they're like all machines, augmented,
proper big. Aye, yeah. But in general, the game just looks absolutely stunning.
I just like the concept of it, like a basic Deus Ex fun sort of ride where you can pick and choose what you want, and if like the character, like see if the dialogue is quite Mass Effect, where you can be like you have like if you're like sort of partially good or you're full good, or you have these sort of comments you can say.
That opens things up.
Dialogues and stuff. Possibly interesting to see what Keanu's samurai.
He's quite he's a prominent character.
He's in
not,
your head.
He's not just like a cameo. You know what I mean? He's apparently kind of sidekick for a lot of it.
He's apparently quite famous. I mean, I don't know the full ins and outs of the lore behind Cyberpunk 2020, but he is apparently quite famous. Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah.
And as you were saying, like probably through nanomachine style, like through your head.
It's a chip that you've got in your character, and he obviously talks to you.
That's
what that. It'd be cool to find out how and why that even is. But
I'm definitely looking forward to that, man.
One of the other things that came off of it, it was just mentioned in one of the other clips, was that Google Stadia are going to have Cyberpunk 2077 from there, like launch. So when it comes out, it'll be on Google Stadia as well, which means play it wherever the fuck you want.
What do you think about that? Because we've brought it up a few times here. Like, I was quite optimistic, and now I'm very like pessimistic. I'm like against it completely now, because they're not really giving you, like, they're not showing you anything. They're being very closed off about it.
The idea behind it, the fact that you can just play wherever you want on any device because you're streaming off of another service, you're just literally watching a video and putting input on it. I think that the fact that you can play it anywhere, somebody somewhere is going to have great benefit from being able to do that. Me personally, I want the game, I want to play it, I'm going to do it.
So you're like Hugh in that sort of aspect, you want to own the game.
I would want to play it. See if it was something I could physically not get it. So for example, I don't have a PlayStation 4. I would probably be more inclined to buy a PlayStation 4 than I would be to buy a Google Stadia subscription, but I would definitely think about it if there was like something fucking amazing came out, like say Spider-Man 2 or something, then I would be like, well I don't have a PlayStation, that's the only game I ever want to play on that console. I might give it a shot if it was something that I could do, but it would have to be something really fantastic that I would, and it would have to be single player. I would never.
It wouldn't be a multiplayer, especially for it. Especially with your things.
For a build up of a character, you go through the progression of multiplayer, you unlock all the things to then not pay your payment that month and lose it all.
I'll see if I can do this, boys.
Oh, fairly Hugh's attempt.
You can't even play Rocket League online with it. You lagging. Never mind fucking. Well, stream it at the same time.
I can't play and stream it at the same time. I
stream it. I was playing Football Manager on my phone while streaming a YouTube video.
But it's like
I was using that 350 meg right up.
The more I hear.
Sorry, my 36.
Wait, guys.
We got another drink to open.
There we go. Yeah. It's always better with cans, man.
Definitely.
You're sparking it.
I'll bring a bottle of Single Barrel next time.
Can't wait to hear the end of that podcast. So it'll just be like me every time.
Like, are you alright? Have you got anything that's on that?
Gamescom? I have no fucking idea, mate. I didn't really look at it. There is actually quite a lot. Modern Warfare, how good does that look?
So Ross, you messaged everyone on the chat to say, have you seen like 2v2? They sort of had the beta for it. And I was like, I'm actually off. Do you know what? I'll have a wee watch of that on Twitch and that, and it was really fun.
Did you catch Declan playing it?
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Because I've not played Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 3, really. Played Ghosts, and then I had a wee go of Zombies, and then that's been it. And that's been years. That's Black Ops 1 or Blops 1.
It didn't transfer over for me. See, when you went to 360 Xbox One, or that generation, this generation, I just never played one. I played Advanced Warfare, not Warfighter. That's not
Warfare. Kevin Spacey.
Aye, Kevin Spacey before he became
F for respect.
Black Ops 4. That was the last one that we all sort of gave a shot for the Battle Royale mode, because it was free to play for a wee bit.
I still play with Shane again.
I didn't play that, unfortunately, but I did see it and it looked fun. It's
fun, but again, see, watching that Modern Warfare footage, man, the guns have just got a punch to them. They've just got they look like they've got good recoil, like fun recoil, not a bad recoil.
Feels like looks like Modern Warfare 2, sort of like that sort of feeling for it, like the way like it used to be.
See, when are they doing a remake of Modern Warfare 2? No,
that was rumoured.
I thought that's what this was, but then but this is like a new installment, isn't it?
This is a new Modern Warfare.
It's a reboot.
But it's going back to...
It's a reboot of the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Because it's called just Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is strange. It's like
I
basically it's like the
thought-
Halloween movies all over again.
They've already done that.
I don't get what's going on.
No, they did a remaster.
H2
That's just a remaster
Halloween
and a
what?
reboot.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So I like the look of it.
The 2v2 mode looked really, really cool because they were doing basically when every round that you start, you, your partner and your opponents all start with the same weapons layout, all with the same attachments, all with the same gear. There's no differentiation between these, so it makes for fair gameplay. It's just if I'm better than you or you're better than me, then whoever's going to win.
It's the old Call of Duty way. If I see you first, you're for it.
Not necessarily. There is.
It's not like Halo where you're like, I see him and you shoot him and then you're like, oh, he's going to run behind that rock. His shields are coming back.
And then you go in the prone and then you lie down and then someone just throws a grenade and you blow off.
It definitely looks really, really nice. That even watching the single player footage, the multiplayer footage on the proper big games, and you've got there's a couple of modes or a couple of games where you start off in just night vision, and you've got the option to switch between sights and like iron sights and scopes. You've got your hollow sight, your iron sight. You can switch between the iron sight, and you've got the laser pointing out as well. So you're really just using that as your guide to.
Are we all going to buy it and play it online?
We're going to buy it. You're going to.
I was going to say, Hugh, you're the worst for this. Yeah. Let's play that.
Hugh, your ass is getting blown up right now.
No. This is part of the game, mate. This is part of the game.
Hugh, did you buy that game?
I goad them into buying games.
He's already.
So right, you goad them into a game. Okay?
I goad them into playing the game, then I tell them I'm going to play it, and then I never play it.
Oh yes. So they waste their money.
No, we
looks like we time.
No, we just play games.
I bought some.
And then we've got stuff to talk about in the podcast.
I
like this kid.
I get burned every time I buy a multiplayer fucking game. I bought that stupid Rainbow Six.
Siege.
Division.
The Division, and it was trash. And I bought Sea of Thieves.
Tom
It was
Clancy's
trash.
Division.
You said this last
Sea
week.
of Thieves, actually, when
Trash.
you mentioned this earlier on, I meant to bring it up when you said it earlier on about
It had its chance.
No Man's Sky being Sea of Thieves in space. Sea of Thieves have now got stories that you can go through. They
that's
actually have discoverable
They
things.
should have had that when I bought the game over a year ago.
Well, it's in Game Pass now, so it doesn't matter.
What else?
I bought that game.
Hugh, what
Well,
else?
can I say something? I am very, very
Drunk?
surprised. No,
Sorry,
because you didn't buy my fucking beer when I told you to.
Hamish,
I'm very surprised. I am surrounded by weebs, and none of you have talked about Kakarot.
Because we
I
are
like
sick of battering Raditz.
I'm just gonna be honest with it. Like,
I don't think there's enough Cybermen in the world left to make another game about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we play it.
Well, they're making one. So.
There's one every year for the past 15 years.
It's been.
It's just too much. You play the same story over and over again.
You've got the new anime that's got super, and you're not exploring them. You're sticking to the same old. That's why Fighters work so well, because it's moving forward rather than regressing
Relatively,
backwards.
and it doesn't have a story.
No,
Like
it's a story.
that's probably one of Fighter Z's best.
It has a story. It's
What,
got 3
you tell
chapters.
everybody?
It's got an overarching story and it's got cutscenes and
But
stuff.
is it not a story that you've heard before?
No. Not
This is its own.
Alright, okay,
It's
yeah.
got its own story.
Xenoverse did okay, even the fact that it had an original story, but all it did was come up with an excuse to why you were fighting the same people again.
Yeah. You go back in time, forward in
But you get
time.
to fight like Hercule or Mr. Satan, and he's all like roided up, really strange, and he's flying, even though he
Not
doesn't
really
like
strange, he's
flying
still
at all.
Mr. Hercule.
And Mr. Hercule.
Mr. Satan.
Mr.
It's just I played that game before.
Yeah.
You played. We watched
nothing new.
We watched the gameplay and
It looks nice, and that's all I can say. It's the same guys that did the Naruto games, and they always look good and play good. But if it's the same song and dance, you're not really going to be interested.
I mean,
Need
it's
something about that.
something that, see if they'd have done this type of a game. In fact, they have done similar to this. They've tried to do similar to this years ago.
Rage and Blast, I think it was.
Rage and
if
Blast
they-
and Tenkaichi.
If they had this and it was, see, even if they did the same thing just now, but then just put it into the new story, like just update it. Why do we keep going back to the same old stuff? And I get it, it's good. It was good. I thoroughly enjoyed them, but
It's
I'm
marketing.
actually it's that way where you find a favourite song, you listen to it, and you listen to it, and you listen to it, and then you don't like it anymore. Like, I'm getting to that stage with the games that I don't even want to try it now because I know I know what's going to happen. I know who wins.
Yeah.
I know
You know
the
the
outcome. I've
movesets,
literally,
yeah.
I've now the last trailer they did was the Gohan versus Cell fight, of which I already know how it finishes because I've seen it.
And they showed it.
And then they just showed it. And I've seen the show. I've seen the fight. It's one of the coolest scenes of Dragon Ball Z was when Gohan turns into Super Saiyan.
It's a low
2
bar.
and-
Oh, Ross, you don't know. Hamish doesn't like Dragon Balls.
Really?
Because he's a little
Hamish
bitch.
doesn't like Dragon Ball.
He doesn't like Dragon Balls.
Because it's terrible.
He doesn't like Dragon Balls, but he likes Guy's balls.
He likes dragging the balls across his face.
That scene, you've seen Gohan fight Cell, and you've played Gohan fight Cell. Gohan has fought Cell in like every game that's had Dragon Ball Z in it, and it's just not anything new. And then they showed you literally everything. They literally showed you the final bit, and then through the wee flashback sequence, you see all the bits that build up to that scene as well. So you even get the bit where they've taken Cell off to Kami's planet, and he's massive and fat, sitting in the fucking front garden of Kami's place and everything.
Just blows up,
and then you know everything that happens before. You've literally watched the entire game.
It's been out since the 80s. It's like you just remember, if it's been in the 80s, it's nearly like 50-year-olds. You're just like,
So I'm not going to buy it.
yeah. We were sort of on the fence.
See, it
about
becomes like a Game Pass.
If it comes, yeah.
Straight to download, but
Yeah.
So what things did you like as well as what we've talked
Man Eater.
You've been saying,
Let me set this up for you, right?
about? Nelly Furtado song, but I get it, like 2000.
You are a shark, right? And what do
Thank
sharks
you,
do?
mate. Eat shit.
They eat everything. You eat divers,
Go after
you eat
boats.
fish.
Go after boats that
Stop
aren't big
it.
enough.
No one's going to be able to hear me.
That's the point.
There's a guy fishing on a pier, and you jump on the pier and you're eating this guy. And then
this
you
game has
wiggle.
fishing.
This game has fishing.
you don't get to do the fishing. Well,
Ross is a fucking day one buyer.
You're the fish out of the water.
Right, this is what I'm going to set up for you. It's an open world Great White Shark RPG.
You've got me.
You customise the
I
shark.
don't even think you get to be. I don't even think you're actually technically a great white.
Oh,
Not
I
yet.
just a big shark.
You're a shark, but you can become whatever you want.
So RPG, and then you can like
Customize. You have
sharpen
skills.
your teeth and thicken
You
your
level
You
hide
have a
and stuff
skill
like that.
tree.
Like,
You
yeah.
have a skill tree.
You fight bosses, humans and other animals, like big giant crocodiles and stuff.
Yeah, but like I mean, like what kind of humans? They get guns, like.
Like shark hunting.
I don't know,
Aye, shark hunters.
it feels like it'd be really easy to just
So
eat a
see-
human if I was a
see,
shark.
He's got
But
spear
if
guns.
he's got like a big massive boat with like an electric fence around it that you can't jump up on and bite him, like, and that would be.
Everyone's got those boats, Hamish.
Aye, yeah,
Can your
that's-
fins turn into arms so you can just grab onto the cage?
No, but do you know what you can
Can-
do?
wait.
You can jump out the water, you can grab them with your teeth, you can then do a mad stupid spin thing and scalp them with your tail so they
nice.
splatter off of the
There's
leg
like
of the
crazy
bridge.
tricks come up at the top right hand corner. Like
you
Tony
do.
Hawk.
Look, I know we're getting
Is
super
there a-
hype here.
Is there a Dr. Evil tree where I can be a shark with a frickin' laser beam on my head?
Do you know what? I'm pretty sure that's the first DLC.
But if you level up, mate, you can transform into a super
Megalodon?
just a megalodon.
Aye, you
A
basically.
super
I
mega.
think
Well, all megalodons are pretty super. To be.
So then you just go about just munching things, mate.
That's
apart from
awesome.
Dave the Megalodon's a dick.
Yeah. So,
Is that you?
are you telling me that you're going to buy this?
Goddamn right, I'm.
Is it exclusive or?
No, it's
No, it's on everything.
Any kind of shark, mate.
Great whites, tiger, hammerhead.
You don't want to be a tiger shark. They're wee. They're small.
Well, that
Bigger
than you.
Yeah, but
What?
Most things are bigger than Hamish. What?
No, he's
What?
very short. If you can't
I'm the
keep-
same height as you, you
Yeah,
moron.
you can't see him because this is recorded. He's only about 5'2".
I'm the fucking same height as you.
No, he's
Back to the podcast, lad.
he's only the same height as me when he's standing on something.
So,
Stand on your fucking face.
Aye, if I was lying down.
Death Stranding is a weird fucking game.
Okay, so what else?
It's Hideo Kojima's breakout game from getting sacked out of Konami and then kicked in the balls with the Silent Hill remakes. It looked really, really interesting. Norman Reedus is now with a fetus, which is crazy.
Norman
Reedus
Fetus.
in the
Why are we
fetus.
not calling him Norman Fetus?
It's a weird concept that just seems to get stranger every time you learn something new about it. They released some gameplay of it, and the first thing that you really see is Norman have a little tinkle on the ground.
so he starts off cradling the baby.
Oh, that's right.
And then a wee
sorry.
thing after that, they were saying that that's actually relevant as to where you are when you're sitting cradling that.
The baby,
thing.
his fetus.
What kind of
It's
game
a
are you
Or is Hideo Kojima
It's
saying
a-
that the
it's a threading game.
The BB.
A what?
Threading.
threading game. I don't know what that means. Is
Nah,
it like
no, nobody does.
No,
mate.
no, we don't. We really don't. It's like
he just
You ever
keeps
done
saying
cross
it.
stitching?
No, but you're saying that you
Red
you saw gameplay as like an adventure third person
thing, and you walk about. You're a delivery guy walking across America.
Yeah.
Well, there was a map that looked like America, and he did walk in it.
Yeah.
So
He also fell down a cliff
really
and nearly
big
killed his
fucking
baby.
I nearly killed the baby.
How the
baby.
fuck did he not sustain further damage than just having to hush a baby? I mean, that was quite a big
clearly
fall,
used the
man.
baby as like to cushion the fall.
Yeah, he was
You had to
literally-
rock. You had to actually rock the baby. It's really strange. It's like a mother simulator, isn't it?
Do you know though, like, see games when they add in all these extra little things that are great attention to detail,
Yeah.
they just become fucking tedious.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. Like,
Red Dead 2. That's what I can think of right away from that.
Like,
Hamish is like,
you had
It's not to say Red Dead Redemption 2 was terrible, but
there was
it
a
became a
lot
bit.
of filler stuff
Yeah.
in that, which was just a bit.
I'm not saying it's terrible,
It's just
but it was
tedious.
god awful.
No, it was tedious.
See brushing your
you've never
horse.
played it.
I know. I'm just
Sorry,
I would like
Rob.
I would have liked in that game. I would have liked some sort of meter to tell me when my horse was brushed. The same amount of times you just stood there brushing and dust still came off, and you're like,
You
is it
have
clean?
you
Is
have
it
a
not
circle
clean?
that tells you.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. And it goes red if you don't brush your horse.
But then when you brush your horse, there's then nothing pops up as you're brushing your horse.
And the red thing goes away
Why are you brushing a fucking horse?
because it gets dirty, mate. Like, you ever had a horse? Ever ridden a horse through a desert before?
No, none of you.
Hamish has got horses in the back.
Anyway, a guy that went
it's-
to jail for that, right?
But yeah, so do you think this game is going to be too much of that? Kind of
Too much Kojima.
No, well,
Nah, people still bought Metal Gear Solid, and it was fucking weird.
yeah, but what I mean is like, is it gonna be tedious? Is it gonna be loads of these stupid little?
I'm not sure. Like the way that it's going with like Guillermo del Toro in it, and like his direction, his art. We don't know what. We really not got much sign of what the creatures look like from the other. It's to do with. It's strange because the more they explain, the more you're confused. Because like what happens is there's a guy that dies every 6 minutes.
No,
Is there something? I think it's something like that, so we can go over to the other side to figure out how to solve the issues that are happening on reality.
Right.
In reality, so to say. But even me saying that, you're like, okay, but why are they doing that? How are they doing that? What's the point? And
What the fuck's that baby?
What is that? What's that baby doing? Why is that woman nursing a ghost baby that she's still attached to in the umbilical cord, and she can't move from that certain spot because if she does, she'll die, and the baby will die, or the baby will die.
Fuck you.
And you've got to grow these babies, and these babies all have personalities, and you're like, and you've got to download babies to the mother brain so they can still think that in the womb. You know what I mean? So me saying stuff like that, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It sounds ridiculous.
It's Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
There'll be some sort of metaphor behind it.
I would love if there was a whole you know reason for it, but
Yeah. We don't
honestly, if what you tell me, it just sounds like it's just random.
Yeah, but
bullshit.
then I bet
It's never random with Kojima.
yeah, Kojima knows what he's doing. Like it's like
Somebody has. Like,
he had like because they did that with Metal Gear Solid 2. I always remember people getting really angry at that because Metal Gear Solid 1, phenomenal game. I remember getting that from one of my pals, sat and played it, loved it. My brother Martin, who didn't play any Japanese games, anything to do with that, sat and played that whole game from start to finish. Went, that was a masterpiece. Metal Gear Solid 2 was coming out. He was like, oh my god, I get to play Snake again. Oh, Snake's awesome for
for a
it.
bit, and then they throw in that
Tank it,
fucking dick.
And they throw in Ryan, and people appear angry.
Do you know, I didn't even know there was a tanker level because I'd never played the first one. And at the start it's like, have you played the first game? And I was like, no.
No.
And I sort of skipped the tanker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best part of the game.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Nah, but you
So-
can just write into Ryan. And
So somebody in school went, oh, have you played the tanker level? I was like,
the what?
there's a tanker level? The fuck?
Aye, because again, like it was, but then Kojima, he planned it that way because it was like
It was a game against fanboys.
yeah, and it was against memes and like how they sort of, and it's like so far ahead in its time, and now you sort of replay it and you're like, okay, I get what he was trying to do there.
Yeah.
But
They created enemies in it that had already been dead and they weren't actually a thing.
it was
so
through
that,
AI.
so
and
that
that.
like,
But I mean, that's a Kojima thing. So you like there's a narrative that they sort of go through, but then there's a meaning behind it all, and this is what he's sort of like. You know, he subjects their expectations, but then he takes it in a crazy new way. This game, on the other hand, again, as I said, they explain things, and you're just more confused when you take a piss.
I've got,
as well,
I've
you've
got more
a piss meter.
questions than I do answers.
Yeah, you have the piss meter,
Yeah,
and
piss meter.
you piss, and then a mushroom showed up, and I don't know if that is.
Nobody addressed the
No,
mushroom.
they didn't address the mushroom. They're like, so do you pee and you get mushrooms? Like, is this Mario or what's going on?
So here's the question: are you going to get it? Are you
Yeah.
gonna
Oh
play it?
yeah, I'm curious, man.
yeah.
That's a very, very,
So no.
very quick answer.
Yeah,
I'm getting it because I'm just interested to see what Kojima does. I don't want to support.
So it's
like,
because because it's Kojima.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, I've enjoyed.
He's an auteur, Hamish. He's an auteur.
I've enjoyed most of his games, even like his like portable ones, like we were saying with Metal Gear Acid and that. I loved Zone of the Enders, like that and the second runner. Like I really enjoyed the games. I didn't download them VR because time to do it. Well, I say time, like Kevin took his PlayStation, so I couldn't get it.
Anything else that stuck out to you?
Yeah.
Destiny 2's got finishers.
Yeah.
Next.
And was that not the first time that they've now
So it
had
didn't stick out to you then?
That's literally it.
Destiny? Like, is that not the first time that they came out on like
Finishers like a rock bottom, or finishers like a rock bottom? Or
Do you realise it's finishers like fucking Doom?
Yeah.
They flash with an icon above them and then you push the button and kill them.
Yeah.
Like fucking Doom.
A lot of people were saying like that was the original plan that it had, but people kept spamming them, or there was no use for them.
Do you know
and then
what
they
game?
were OP, and then they took them out, and then they put them back in. They
refined them a bit. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what game had finishers in it? Years ago?
Halo.
Exactly.
But isn't this not the first time that the guys from Bungie and all that have came out on Microsoft and pushed the trailer for Destiny on that?
Yeah, because they get money from Sony last time, now they're getting money from Microsoft, and now they're not Activision anymore.
Yeah, so their own company, which is crazy for it. Are you interested in Destiny now for that? Or?
Nah, I played Destiny 2 and I completed the base game.
Yeah.
And I got
Ross, you and me played that briefly, didn't we? Aye.
Twice, I think.
It's one of those games that you just nothing drew me back to it at all.
Do you think like now that they're doing that free to play version on Stadia and they're doing that, like, you know, you would, if you get enough people around, do you think it would be a good enough game to play? Like,
I don't like loot shooters.
Shooters?
Like, I was only in it for the story at first, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And it's like, alright, do you want to play these missions over and over again to get a higher number for your gun? I was like, nope.
It's one of those games I would play the story once, like Anthem or, you know, like Division, stuff like that. Like, I'd play through it once, the story. I wouldn't go back to it, like, because it's just an endless grind of, alright, okay, you got better stuff this time. Do you want to do it again, get better stuff? I'm like, well, why would I do that? You know?
Anthem's dead, by the way.
yeah.
No, Anthem's had a big update. It's apparently better than it has been ever.
Oh, awesome.
What about
These
yourself?
games getting updates when people have already paid full price for them.
Anything new, seen, Ross? That you are?
There's just a couple of things that were mentioned that I noticed. The Witcher 3 is going to be coming complete edition into Switch. It's going to have a complete launch for Switch that's going to be there.
Awesome.
Final Fantasy 8 Remaster's literally out in 2 days' time.
Yeah, that does.
I'm going to play that shit. Fuck Fire Emblem. I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy it on the Switch, the Xbox, and the PS4.
I'll
Just so you can play it on none of them.
so you can start it and never finish it.
I
Pretty much,
You get to the gardens and go, oh fuck man, I've got to play card games. Nah.
Oh, Triple Triad is amazing. I will play Triple Triad. I wish there was a Triple Triad mobile game.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking,
I hate Triple
fucking
Triad.
love it, man.
Oh, we're different.
So addictive.
Oh.
Is that the card game in it?
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you it's no Gwent. Right.
Yeah, Witcher 3
Gwent from Witcher 3.
Gwent's the game within a game.
Because they did the separate one as well.
I don't care.
I
like
was
Triple Triad.
literally like me.
But yeah, I'm interested in that. Even though I've got so much to play, I'd love to play Final Fantasy.
Some of the
again,
things
my
that they
first
said
one.
about the Final Fantasy thing which appealed to me, a person that's never actually played it before.
You've never played
was-
it?
I've never played.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I've seen 7 and 8 being played, and I've seen them separate times, so much so that I get them mixed up.
Okay.
So I think that things happened in 7 that weren't there in 8. So I think summons were a thing of 8.
They're in all
They're under most of them. Yeah.
Most, but I think they were quite. I think the ones that I can remember the cutscenes and things for were in 8, whereas I didn't relate them to Cloud.
Okay.
So I don't really know.
Is there one like, because I can't say Ifrit and Shiva because they're both in.
Well,
it's
Ifrit,
like
and then
Quizzical.
there's the dragon.
Quetzalcoatl, I kept calling
There's a
him.
guy that shows up on a horse every now and again.
Oh,
But
that's
if he
Odin.
shows up in the horse,
That's
it's
Odin,
a
mate.
one-hit kill. But if he doesn't show up in
That's
the horse,
8.
it's not. Or
Yeah,
something. Is
That's
that 8?
that's it. That's it.
So I've seen a lot of the cutscene stuff I remember is from 8, but then whenever I think of the characters, it's all the characters for 7. So I get them mixed up.
That's crazy.
But
For it.
Spoilers, but see when Cypher kills Odin, is it Yojimbo that comes?
No, it's his bra, Odin's bra.
Who's that?
Because
Oh, it's my wee badge all over again.
it's a game for it.
don't know
Because he
if
comes
I
up with like 4 swords and he's on a
Yeah,
horse.
that's what I thought it was Yojimbo, but I'm thinking of Final Fantasy 10.
But yeah, sorry.
Well, aye, so some of the stuff that's in this new Final Fantasy that looked like it'd be quite cool for people who've never played it but want to know the story and
Yeah.
be able to play through it. There is the option to speed up combat.
Yes.
So you get the option to fast forward. There's also the option to miss combat.
Yeah.
So you can actually make environments non-hazardous to you.
Yeah.
So you can run through the area, get to the next part of the story and continue.
Yeah.
Wish I fucking had that here in Pokemon, man. See, walking through that fucking grass, you just think, oh, fuck off.
Rat. Another fucking rat.
Yeah, like they did introduce the MC into Final Fantasy 7, 9 and all that with the one for it, and that helps so much. See, if you're just want to blitz through the story, man, I can completely agree.
So it's one of the things that's quite appealing to me. You want to maybe pick up that and the £20 price tag that comes with the remastered ones as well, which is alright.
Plus you're going to get an upscale version of a game that's, you know, it's
20 years old.
Yeah,
it's old.
It's Gilgamesh, by the way. Gilgamesh comes when you kill him.
Gilgamesh!
Do you not remember Gilgamesh, mate?
Gilgamesh. Because like his his one just looks a lot better than Odin's because the swords come round for it. And
Odin's is badass though because there's like rain. And like his horse comes in, he's just sawed it and he's fucking chops cunts in half.
And then they just go like that in half. They literally just split in half and then they go. It's pretty good. Gilgamesh's one, when he picks up a sword, he can end up doing the same damage as like Odin, or he can do one that's incredibly weak. So you're like, cheers, pal.
Cheers for picking up that shite sword.
Fucking useless, but
thank you.
Does anybody remember a trailer that was released for a game called Erica?
I have seen that.
Live action
PlayStation, isn't it?
Well, I can't even remember what this was even mentioned to be on.
I think it's just on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember. It was just when we were going through the Gamescom highlight stuff. It was one, and I was like, I remember the name, and I remember it being a live action thing that was mentioned. But basically, that's now coming about. That's going to be something that's going to get released.
Is it the kind of old school click and play? Like
you're literally getting options that pop up in the screen. So it's very much Heavy Rain looking, but it's filmed in real time. So it's actually it's actors on a screen, and when you pick what you're doing, it'll then go to a different scene for them to then act out the next bit and stuff. So
so I've like they used to make the games back in the 90s and that. I remember, like, was I talking to you about the Christopher Walken one?
Yeah,
we were talking about that. Like, there's loads of ones that used to come back in the 90s for it. They were always great. So and I'm assuming this is going to be well acted, not Christopher Walken acted. Not to say Christopher Walken's a terrible actor, but man, he hammed it up back in the 90s.
Can you imagine him and Nicolas Cage in the one film?
Well, you know what? I didn't one film together.
I don't think so.
When's that getting released?
You can handle it.
I never caught a date on it. I know that it's ready and things.
I think it's pretty soon. I think I've seen adverts for that on my fucking Facebook and stuff like that.
It's going to be a small game. It's not going to be a massive game, and it's going to be quite cheap to buy. But
it's nice to have something like that because I really enjoyed like Until Dawn when I had that, because that was like, it's not like live action for it, but you still had the choices. But like actors, you can definitely tell, you know, that are mo-capped for it. What's his name was in it?
Peter Stormare.
Yeah, like that's such a good game. And then if it's choices like that where your choices do matter for it, and you know people die, people live for it.
I do like those kind of games, but there's just sometimes they're very hit or miss. Sometimes it's just pure cringy acting and it just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Or it's not cringy enough when you have that. I think Until Dawn
it's out now. It was out.
There you go.
Now it's only $8.99 as well.
Oh, nice. It's under a tenner.
I knew it was cheap, and I knew it was supposed to be ready. I wasn't sure if it was actually out yet, but
because
it's something that's been in the making for ages.
I would say that those types of games are good that you play with like multiple people for it, or if you played it yourself, you can say, "Oh, this is what I got." But let's see what Hamish got.
It's like an interactive movie, isn't it? That's kind of the point of it.
And it's like let's see like how they would select that, because maybe like different personalities would do different things.
It'd be really cool if it is something that they do have, or can develop a party play for, where you can have people, you know, like the way that you can do with like their stream Twitches and things like that.
Telltale games, you get like a vote and stuff like that.
They let you do like the vote play thing where people can, you know, pause these at sections so that the audience can choose what they want to do or whatever. If you get multiple people sitting there, everybody gets a chance to. It'd be cool to see like something like that. But
Telltale, Hamish, it's very interesting that you mentioned that.
Yes, actually I did put up a post about Telltale on Instagram about how it's like its assets have been bought by another company, so basically being revived.
You were mentioning games that, like, saying you asked everyone on Instagram about that, and I was waiting till the podcast came up so I could say like what mine was going to be, because like I was a huge Wolf Among Us fan, really enjoyed that, and I was gutted like they took forever to say they were going to do it, and then obviously
it fell through before.
There was one that I was looking forward to, and kind of glad that it didn't happen, and that was Stranger Things. That was confirmed, ready to go, and then it sort of shut down.
And I've heard that even though they had the license, it's now reverted back, so they're not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Apparently the Walking Dead games are not going to be doing any more of them.
No.
I think it's The Walking Dead.
They did the final season anyway. That was the last one. It was called the final season.
They've lost the license, so even if they wanted to kind of revive that, then they will be able to. But
they're trying to advertise themselves as, Telltale again, but like the only thing that's the same is the name.
Yeah.
Well, they do have some of the licenses, not all of them though, and they are specifically going to be doing new things as well.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'll be looking forward to see what they're going to do instead of it. I mean,
there's a bit of backlash against them because
the way they treated the workers.
The workers didn't get their pay, and then now this company's like, oh well, they bought the assets and then said, we'll sign you up as freelance, and people are like, fuck off.
It's in a different location, it's like it's a good few hundred miles away, like the office and stuff like that, and they've talked about bringing back some of the original people from Telltale as like kind of freelance or contracted, and then they'll see what happens if they can. But
see, like that's what happened, like before that, like there was someone that moved all their stuff out. I think it was LA, the one.
Yeah.
Moved out like a week before they closed down, and then lost everything. So they basically picked up their life to move out to a place they thought they were going to be working for the next couple of years, to then be like, oh no, see you later, pal, and not get any reimbursements or anything for it. Basically,
hiring people as freelance is a way to not pay them benefits.
It's like giving people 0-hour contracts. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need to actually give you anything.
Well, we can always hope that they take the past experience and go, okay, we had that one major hit, and then we kind of mismanaged everything. Maybe now that if we do get something that's
it's different people, so but I think they're going to have to handle that reputation and know that that's their reputation.
Well, I think that's why they're doing it this way. I think they're being a bit tentative. Like, well, it's obviously this could go either way. Like this could totally flop. Yeah. But hopefully not. But we'll need to see how it's going to work before we actually commit to anything.
I would like them to evolve the mechanics for it as well, because
it was very samey.
You could point The Walking Dead and then Guardians of the Galaxy and the exact same. There's only a few games that slightly changed that.
The engine was the same, and
we've all heard the stories and you've sort of read up for that. But
apparently they did say we're trying our best to learn from previous mistakes and that. So
and I mean that's all you can really hope for.
Suppose it was the guy that ran the company got greedy after The Walking Dead and thought he found a formula. He just needed licenses and he could just pump these games out. Like
they had too many
too many hands.
It was a small team, so it wasn't a big team.
Yeah. What about yourself, Ross? Did you play?
I played through a bit of The Wolf Among Us. Never finished it. I finished the first.
You're missing out.
Sacrilege.
I know. I played through the first bit, and I was just really gutted with the part at the end of that. I don't want to say anything because I know it's old.
Oh, we can say
close enough. Snowy's dead.
Aye. So that was literally it, and I was like, is there anything I could have done that could have stopped that from happening? And I was really annoyed with myself for because she died.
How many episodes did you get in?
You would be less annoyed if you played the rest of it.
Yeah, we just
let's just put it that way. You'd be less annoyed if you played the fucking rest of it.
So I played that first bit. I didn't go it back anymore. I had always been told that the Walking Dead one was good, and again, never really got in it because I wasn't really big into the Walking Dead.
Yeah, no, man, that's why I never played it.
The climb stories were really fun.
Yeah,
the first 3.
You say fun? I heard they were like
absolutely
awful.
I mean, it's a fucking zombie apocalypse, man. So I mean, it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows.
You see, climb evolve for it because starting as scared wee girl all the way up to where she gets.
Yeah, played a bit of the Batman one as well.
I really like
the Batman one.
I really like the Batman one. See the second Batman one I was specifically impressed with because I went through it, I played and I got this ending, and then I looked up on YouTube. I was like, I'm not going to play through this again, but I'm curious what the other endings were. And even from halfway through, episode 3 to 6 was completely different, totally different. So it wasn't because a lot of criticisms that those games get are you've artificial choices, but it all ends up the same. But no, this looked completely.
I heard Game of Thrones one was like that. They gave you artificial choices, but they had to have a narrative because it was to do with the TV show, so they couldn't really.
I found that was very boring.
Yeah, this is where I liked the whole story behind the Wolf Among Us, because I mean, is that a license?
It's based on a comic book series called Fables. So, but it's pretty different. It's basically just using the characters and stuff like that. It's not just a story.
I would like them just to come up with their own game, their own story, and fuck all this license shit. Just make it.
Be interesting. Interesting if they could, but then you'd need to have that talent behind you. That's voice acting characters, the creative directors and stuff like that as well. But.
It's really good to see that type of game but with an original story, something that's not been taken from something else with characters that we don't even necessarily. The Walking Dead, it's supposed to be how many universes wide? Or how many different stories are there within that universe? There's supposed to be so many different people and so many different environments there that
even
shows tapped into
two TV shows.
Aye, they've tapped into
comics.
different things. You've got the comics, you've got
There are going movies, I suppose, that are coming out. For
To be fair though, like with those games, they've got one like with Michonne based on like the TV show. They've got ones that are based on like the comics. I think they've got their own stories in that universe, but
it'd be nice to. I get sick of things just copying and repasting and
it's the same engine
Palette
from
switch,
2008. So like it's
engine wise, it's the same, literally the same game.
the Batman game for the Xbox One was broke.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get into any of the other menus except from starting the game. See if you go into the high score menu or like the high score, like the choices menu, it just went blank. And like if you Google it, I googled it like Batman Telltale Xbox One. I was like, this game is broke and it won't be updated. So, okay.
Right, Hugh, tell us about D23.
D23 was a Disney thing where they explained tons of Disney stuff.
That's good.
Is it just Disney you do, Hugh?
That was the best, most descriptive thing I've ever heard.
Well, Disney now owns everything, so everything was at this event.
All hail the mouse.
Star Wars, Marvel, and see all your memories you had of Disney Channel 10 years ago. They're all coming back.
Also Fox. Remember they got that as well.
They didn't mention anything about that.
They mentioned Simpsons, didn't they?
No, they showed. Well, they showed it on their streaming thing when they demoed their streaming thing. There was a big picture.
They
of
didn't mention it.
but nobody fucking cares.
I care.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, on Disney Plus.
I care about the Simpsons.
Right, so what part of Disney do you want to go into first? Marvel, Star Wars?
Oh, we got a choice.
Yeah.
Let's spin the wheel. Was it landed on you?
Star Avengers.
Damn it! Star Avengers.
Let's go with Star Wars.
Okay.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Ewan's back.
Ewan's back.
Ewan McGregor. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Our boy.
Our lad.
Hello there.
He's not our lad.
No one's saying General Kenobi.
Yeah.
God, you guys are not Star Wars fans.
Swines.
Obi-Wan's getting a show. No a film, a show.
No.
Is it going to involve him driving about in motorbikes?
Speeder bikes.
I don't really know where it's going to be set. Because I know they had a big like graph out showing where it, like everything fits in the timeline, but like
who's got time to read graphs?
Yeah, we know.
What is this, an Ubisoft game?
We know what Obi-Wan was doing for long periods. Like he was on that fucking Tatooine doing nothing, wanking for like.
Oh no! I mean, last time we saw was what, like episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
And then we saw him as an old man, Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
People over there.
That's a lot of fucking time.
They didn't end in that time though.
They will be back.
Well, we don't know that, do we?
He just sat about.
We don't know that, do we?
I think he was in Clone Wars as well during that time.
Yeah.
But they went to Tatooine to like.
Clone Wars, was that not between like 2 and 3 or?
Yeah.
1 and 2 or something?
No, because in Clone Wars, Darth Maul fights him as a slightly older but younger than he was in 4.
No, he fights Darth Maul after Darth Maul was killed, cut in half in the first one because he's Spider Maul,
didn't he?
And then he gets.
I think Spider Maul's after Revenge of the Sith.
It's like he took my dick.
No, they find Spider Maul first. Savage finds him, and then he gets him normal legs.
Yeah.
But
right, because the fight scene I've seen of Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan is on Tatooine, and Obi-Wan has a grey beard and grey hair, like he's a lot older than he is in Revenge of the Sith.
Dooku kills him.
Dooku kills him.
Spoiler alert.
Dooku kills who?
No, it was the Dooku. It was who is it that kills the two of them?
No, General Kenobi kills Darth Maul.
We're all
in the most anticlimactic fight ever.
Because Dooku gets like killed by Anakin. He goes like that. Do it.
No, but in the Clone Wars, who is it? The two of them fight. Is it?
It's Ewan McGregor.
It's Ewan McGregor.
Well, Kenobi fights. Well, I say fights him. He literally just finds him at a campfire, and it's like
the two of them fight. Is it then? So who's Maul's brother then? Savage.
Savage.
Who is it that kills Savage?
I don't know.
Eric.
The two of them end up
big Jim.
The two moles.
Oh, it's not in Clone Wars. It's in Rebels.
Star Wars Rebels. Yeah,
there we are.
But it's old Kenobi, and it's like, oh, this is going to be such an epic fight, and then it's just like, zoom. Oh well, there's Maul dead.
Is that it?
It's just shit.
He's like, ah!
It's so anticlimactic.
Static.
Pro is showing how powerful he is at that point.
I killed him with a lightsaber.
But I mean, that it must be set before that.
Rebels is set.
Ewan's getting on a bit. So
Rebels is set. Doesn't make sense.
In Rebels, there's already Darth Vader. It's not Anakin.
So it's set between 3 and 4.
Yeah, so it's like in the middle of them. But.
So are you looking forward to it? That he's back?
Yeah. Don't know when we're going to get it though, because they haven't announced the UK release of Disney
Isn't
Plus.
Disney Plus not coming out till 2020 anyway?
12th November in America.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, cool.
But are you thinking like Ewan's going to have a lot more say in this time, because like, you know, he was, I think, the only decent actor they really got for like 1, 2 and 3
How dare you? Liam Neeson's in that film.
in one film.
In one film.
Well,
He does, man.
Apart from Jar Jar, maybe.
Christopher Lee and the guy that plays the Emperor. I can't remember his name. Michael.
Why did you pick Michael of all things? It's not Michael.
I mean, I'm not looking it up right now.
But yeah, like the other things that we've had for Star Wars, was there any other ones like a Mandarin?
what?
The Mandarin?
The Mandarin.
Aye, that Iron Man thing.
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, yeah.
His name is Ian McDermott.
Ian McDermott, that's right. Aye, the Mandalorian. Apologies.
Mandalorian, yeah. I think that'll be interesting. Like,
The Mandarin.
sorry, like the
Mandalorian, another great cast. Like,
Yes.
The first one that pops in with Gina Carano. She's not a great actress at all, but
She's quite good.
she's okay. But
Goddamn, Apollo Creed's in this.
Giancarlo Esposito, you know, he's in it. Gus from
Lando.
Breaking Bad,
And
and
Carl fucking Weathers.
Lando.
Carl Weathers. Yeah.
No, it's not. That's Billy D. Williams.
Because they're black. It's the same person. No.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting my Rockies mixed up.
What's his name again? Pablo Pascal, like
Yeah,
the
he was in Game of Thrones.
Red Viper from Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I know there's not an awful lot from the trailer. It's literally a couple of wee bits.
He murders a few people.
You see people that.
Is this?
It looks
It's
like
not
he's got-
Django.
No, it's Boba.
Is it Boba?
Is it Boba
I
Fett?
think it's Boba Fett, but you see like other bounty hunters like IG-88 and stuff like the droid one. And I think it's basically a story about like all of them are
He's obviously a fucking
bounty hunters. It's like a band of bounty hunters that you follow the story of, but it's
boss. Gonna be in it.
centric to
The guy
centric to-
that doesn't
I
wear
think it's
shoes.
Boba Fett.
Is that Bosk?
Did Boba
The
Fett
boss
die?
still hasn't.
In,
He's the guy that doesn't wear
Return of
shoes.
the Jedi.
Which
He
one?
fell
Aye.
in. He fell
Oh,
in
the
the
Salad
salad pit.
Salad, but
Well, no, he died and then he came back.
yeah,
Boba
because
Fett, like apparently he came back. Well, I think that might be extended universe.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe
It's
if
really
this
hard
is-
to fucking
Yeah, it's like Star
figure out.
Wars is it's crazy sort of time.
We need Jason here for this. Yeah.
But I would say, like, you know, if are they gonna, like, maybe that he gets out the Sarlacc pit and just continues, or
Hey.
you can't escape that though. Yes,
You wanted a show about Cassian Andor, didn't you?
I think I didn't.
He was the worst part of Rogue One.
He's alright.
him and what's it?
K2SO.
K2SO, or as they want to call him, K2 Fast, K2 Furious. The new one.
Okay,
That was their suggestion, and they came out on stage saying we could do that, and we what's his name? Cassian
Andor.
So, aye. That it could be comical. I mean,
yeah,
I have no idea what I expect for any of these shows. We've never had a Star Wars TV show, except the cartoons, but like,
aye, nothing live action.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how it goes.
I mean, it's Disney. They've got the money to throw at it. It's Star Wars. It's a big franchise.
they can throw whatever onto the wall and see what sticks, and then continue that way.
I think it'll be good. Clone Wars and Rebels were fucking brilliant TV shows, man.
Clone Wars has been announced as being another thing that's going to be coming back to Disney Plus.
Oh, nice.
Now, it's very unclear from the way that they announced it, and I haven't actually looked further into this, but all they said was that Clone Wars will be premiering.
yeah, it's they're doing another season.
Is it actually another
confirmed
season,
somewhere?
or-
Yeah.
Because they did say that,
Because did
the
it not
fans
finish
have
on
asked for it, the fans have demanded it, so it's going to premiere here. But the way
Rebels is after Clone Wars, so why not just make another Rebels season? Or
and there's a lot of time between Clone Wars and Rebels.
a lot of filler, maybe a lot more. Like,
so this is going to be in between Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is the most interesting part of the prequels was the Clone Wars.
because they could expand on that so much, because, you know, the war went on for a couple of, a good many years.
Yeah. Clone Wars TV show is phenomenal. Really, really good, man. A lot of great episodes.
I've meant to watch it. I watched the 5-minute short variations that were on Toonami many moons ago, and they were absolutely phenomenal. Loved the way that they could.
That's Clone Wars.
I know. I was getting to that. So, when I had watched that, I really liked it. So when the Clone Wars came out and it was the whole animated thing, I just the style of it, I wasn't really interested in at the time. But then the more and more I've heard about it, the more and more it's a really mature Star Wars cartoon. Like it does actually have some really good stuff, and everybody raves on about it. Like,
does it have the Mace Windu fight in that one where he didn't say anything and he just
that's the original cartoon.
That's the original one, and then they did the CG style. So okay. Again, I'm trying to remember which one was.
That Clone Wars is a CG one, and Clone Wars.
Yeah. Clone Wars was weird. They released it in like 2-3 minute shorts, but you put it all together. Whatever, but you put it all together, it's basically just a film. But for some reason,
two seasons they were an hour each.
That's crazy.
Grievous was really badass in that, and then
there was a whole bit where they fucking
any other time that you see Grievous
the Jedi in a temple. And it was a wrecked fucking building or something, and he just
Starship.
It was like 4 entrances and a roof, and he just like crawled around the outside of it and just terrified the shit out of the Jedi inside. And it was that old one with the pointy head as well.
Plo Koon.
What a
was really fucking
cool.
No,
not Plo Koon. No, it was Iyad Mundi or something.
The Mace Windu fight is amazing.
You never seen Red Player Media, no?
Or Turbo?
Where they talk about Star Wars and they're like
I thought you were trying to talk.
No, I'm trying to talk. It's like,
don't worry, Hugh, no one ever's really gone.
To make up names, they just go Beanie Weenie.
I mean, just like a toy name and that's it. That's merchandise right there. So is there any other Star Wars out of that for that?
No.
Apart from obviously episode 9.
There's episode 9 trailer, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Episode 9 Switchblade.
Episode 9 try to get you in the feels by when you get nostalgia for it, and then having Darth Ray.
We're really sorry that a lot of people found our film shit, so here's a trailer with all the bits that you really like for this new one, so that you don't get disappointed with the last couple of wee bits of the new film.
What did you see? Did you not really like the sort of lean into Darth Ray style maybe they're trying to go for, or you think this
are
is...
Are they actually doing that, or is that going to be like a video?
Are they going to pull out that Leia's got some more? Oh, obviously they can't, because but are they just going to make up stuff as they go along again, where she can just teleport through fucking space?
Oh no, she always had the Force. She always had the Force.
Star Wars always makes shit.
No, she was always Force sensitive. That was talked about the original films, mate.
Yeah.
Because she spoke to and was like, I've always had a sort of feeling. That's literally fucking.
Because she's a Skywalker.
She's a goddamn Skywalker.
No training, no practice, no nothing.
How do you know?
How do you know now? Yeah, you don't know.
Fuck off. You never seen it, so we're just going to throw it in there because it did actually happen, because that was a wee bit that we never actually wrote about because we forgot to, but it did happen. We know we made it.
Ross, don't worry, no one's ever really gone. So
where the fuck are the ghosts?
The guy.
First Ghost Yoda.
So he showed up with Skywalker. He's like, alright pal, fucking just bumped your table down. He's like, the scriptures. He's like, ha.
What Anakin?
I don't know what's going on.
I remember in the end of
I thought you were just two shouting each other.
Remember Anakin what? What Anakin
are we going to see?
Are we going to get original Anakin or
Hayden Christensen Anakin?
You're going to get Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
That phenomenal.
I don't think you're going to see.
It wasn't as bad as everyone said.
How many more films did he do?
He did Jumper.
He didn't do films for the same reason that people like Haley Joel Osment didn't do a lot of films for ages, or people like the very young Anakin Skywalker, I can't remember his name, because he got fucking slagged like rotten. There was nothing to do with his actual acting.
No one would hire him because he was...
His acting in the third one was a lot better than his acting in the second one. In Revenge of the Sith he was a lot better.
You can only do what you can do with a bad script. Only act so well.
George Lucas cannot write dialogue.
And it makes it worse when you're a shit actor.
Well, Natalie Portman's a good actor and she was shit in it as well.
Is she though?
Yeah.
Stop foreign this.
Is she not like a Academy Award winning actress? I think
she was great in that Swan.
Is she though?
Maybe.
She was
a Swan.
That Swan so
What else came out? D23.
See, since we're talking about Disney Plus as well.
Yes.
No adult stuff on it at all.
Well, Simpsons is on it.
They don't have porn, if that's what you're saying.
I mean, it's not. There's not going to be anything rated R. There's not going to be any it's like 12 or something like that. Right. So, and one of the things that people are really complaining about is obviously there's going to be a Moon Knight series announced.
Yeah,
who is a psychopath who likes to
murder people,
fuck shit up. Yeah, like how are they going to do?
When is Dracula going to give him his money back?
When is Dracula going to give him? He needs his money though.
Big fucking nerd.
So how do you think that's going to impact the Disney Plus shows if they can't have an adult rating?
They're going to have the same feeling as the films, where until the last one there was no real consequences in any of the films, was there?
No, but again, it's like they are doing a Blade as well, aren't they? Blade movie.
They have to make that 18 or rated R in America.
Well, that's the thing. Like they apparently aren't doing anything like that.
What was that?
He bumped loose like he was a squeaker.
No, I bumped the name. I made the squeak voluntary.
Sorry. Go.
I don't know anything about that. Not doing it 18. They might just give that stuff to, or have a contract with Netflix.
Do you think they're going to do that, even though they've got their own Disney Plus streaming service?
If they're going to make money, they can make money that way as well. So
if they want to make content that's true to the original, then they're going to have to.
But then
they're going to need to change their rules.
They're pulling things like obviously all the Netflix
Jessica
Marvel
Jones
shows,
like
Daredevil and Punisher were 18s, but they're not putting them on Netflix anymore. There's been speculation they're going to put them on Disney Plus, but they can now, but they get 2 years or something like that. But even if they do put them on now, they're not going to be 18s because Disney Plus aren't doing.
So how can they not be 18s if they are 18?
No, they were 18s when they were on Netflix, right? They've pulled the licenses, they've stopped making Marvel shows.
So they would blur out the footage that made it.
Well, that's the point. Like people are saying, are these going to come back? But now it seems unlikely because they can't make 18s on. Like they've specifically stated that they're not going to make adult rated, mature rating shows.
They're not going to make them. They're already made.
You're just never going to see them again.
They're not going to pull them off of Netflix and then wait 2 years and then put them back on Netflix.
They're just going to put them in the vault and you're never going to see them again.
So I'm just really being specific with the wording, and they're not going to make 18 plus, but that doesn't mean that they haven't already made. So if the content's if the content's already available, are they then going to let that go out there and be we made this, but from now on we won't, or is it just never going to be seen again?
They're not hosting any adult or mature rated shows on.
If it's not hosting, then obviously that's a no. They won't have anything on it.
I think they're just not wanting. I don't know how much Kevin Feige, how much input he had in Daredevil shows and stuff like that. I think Netflix obviously supported them.
It's just Disney trying to keep their family friendly image, But
could have an adult option at some point.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to do it.
Night.
They might call it something else though.
They might call it Disney X.
Disney Dark.
Disney XX.
I don't think
Disney Triple X.
I don't think they'll use the Disney name. I think they'll eventually branch off and have a Marvel
kind of
one
subsection of
Yeah.
We call it Disney and Datney.
I don't even understand what you said because you were laughing at yourself.
Disney, Datney.
It's terrible.
Sorry.
Right.
What else from D23 did we see that was
Yes.
Right. Announced a whole load of shows.
Start listing them right now.
You've got 5 seconds.
Go.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, WandaVision, Moon Knight, Loki, and What If.
Oh,
that was 7 seconds.
So with the What Ifs, they did say it's going to be different.
They never gave you a lot of details. WandaVision, What If's going to be animated, but with the voices of the characters. WandaVision's going to be a weird sitcom
with the fucking music from fucking
Bewitched.
Is it going to have a laugh track?
It sounds like it.
See the way they came out on stage. They came out on stage to something you would genuinely expect at the start of Bewitched, like the original, like that.
The characters in it are pretty weird as well. Like they've got Kat Dennings in it.
Aye, so the
as who?
As the cat Darcy, the character she played in Thor.
All right, okay.
Oh really? Okay.
And then they've got.
But it's a sitcom, so fucking do whatever they want.
We get the Asian guy for Ant-Man and the Wasp that played like the detective that no one remembers.
Oh, the guy that got Lang talked to.
Yeah, the awkward conversation back and forth. Yeah,
that's funny.
They were like, "Oh, this guy," and everyone was like,
"What?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, it was Bruce Lee."
Yeah. But you all see the Black Widow poster?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a TV show as well, isn't it?
No,
that's a film.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
Because like they're doing a lot of like straight to movie on the service because they announced that like Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah,
for it was exclusively on Disney Plus. So
probably I think that watch it.
Yeah.
It's got Doggo Hamish. You'll watch it.
I do like dogs. Is this one of these ones that they call a live action, but it's not actually live action? It's all CGI.
No, it's real dogs.
Actual dogs.
The actual dogs,
but they CG their faces and they get an expression, so it looks terrifying.
Probably not, because I mean they couldn't do that in the animated show.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
So like,
no, did you see it? It's terrifying.
Dom, how good was The Lion King?
Don't get me started, boy.
You may repeat your line.
I'm not repeating
line.
He doesn't remember it.
It was god awful.
That Lion King was god awful.
That Lion King
in regards to the other shows that were announced in regards to Disney stuffs.
In regards to what?
Disney.
I mean, in regards, you can put that in
I'll
that sense.
put as many as I want in. When I'm regarding
With regards to She-Hulk,
That's hot.
it's like a Hulk.
That's hot.
I've seen that.
I'm putting that on record right now.
I've seen that and it's not good.
What is it?
Oh, sorry, I went down a rabbit hole. I thought you had seen China dressed as the She-Hulk.
right.
Oh!
Now it's coming out here.
I'm going. That sentence, China was in a porn dressed as She-Hulk.
China is in the WWF stroke E.
Deceased wrestler.
CHY.
I was like, straight away I was like, let me just Google that.
Sorry, Ross, you're saying?
You have to see
The
it.
Disney stuff that's going to be coming out as part of Disney Plus and D3 and all the rest of it. Forky asks a question.
Oh,
It's
Forky
gonna
from
be-
Toy Story 4.
From Toy Story 4.
We shorts.
That's a show. Like
They're actually,
is
it's
it shorts?
going to be a show, and it's
crazy.
it's a series of Forky asking questions. I don't fucking know.
It's a good,
Riveting stuff.
quite a good concept from what you'd have, because Forky's just basically a blank slate.
He's literally just been born to
The world according to Jeff Goldblum.
Nat Geo.
Now that I will watch.
Yeah.
National Geographic.
Definitely watch that.
Is there anything else that's jumping out at you? From
Monsters at Work.
Monsters at Work, following on from the
Monsters,
Monsters Inc.
Inc.
universe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't hear about that.
Monsters
That's
at
something.
Work.
Guys. High School Musical, the show.
High School Musical.
You want to say that again?
Musical.
So confusingly worded that the explanation didn't even help either. So High School Musical was filmed in fucking school.
A high school.
It was filmed in a school. So the kids that actually go to that school made a show about High School Musical, the musical, and this is now a show about High School Musical, the show.
Oh,
So
okay.
like a documentary.
So it's a documentary of the children that actually went to the school
Oh,
putting
okay.
on a High School Musical show.
Alright,
Or
okay.
High School Musical, the musical.
It's like a Disney Inception
But,
show.
but on
fuck
top
would
of
watch
that,
it?
in case anybody actually still gave a fuck about High School Musical, which they obviously think they do because they brought that show out, they've now bringing out another show called Encore, which is basically all of the people that have ever played High School Musical in anything.
I thought it was going to be Jay-Z and Linkin Park again.
No, anything that's ever been in High School Musical, or any actors who have ever done a High School Musical, are now going to be coming together in this new show where they're going to get them all back to do an encore. Where
I bet Zac Efron's not doing that. He's looking at it like going, nope.
no.
I've
you can all
been
be in
in
this
a
together,
film with The
I'm
Rock. I'm above you
What about
guys.
Lizzie McGuire, the show?
With
that
Hilary
Eva?
Duff.
With Hilary Duff.
What input are you expecting us to have in that?
I didn't watch Lizzie
Hilary
McGuire.
Yeah,
Duff.
She's nice though.
she's hot as
I'll
fuck.
watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, she's hot as fuck, but I've never seen the show.
No, I've never seen the show either.
I can't actually remember some of the other stuff that they mentioned.
Who
There
was
was a wee guy with his robot, and he's going to be a top detective.
Moving on.
Robot
Disney
Man.
Plus itself, November 12th, 2019.
Yep.
They've stated it's going to be ad free. It's going to have all the old content in it as well. So you're going to have your classic Disney movies and all the movies that have been out so far. So you're going to have your Disney Pixar, your classic Disney movies,
Which is pretty cool.
Snow White, Moana, whatever else. They've also stated that they've got all of the Star Wars movies, so they're all in there as well.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Oh.
I'm sorry, how many of them?
I'm sure he said.
Star Wars
Is it
all.
all of them?
I think he said it's all of them.
Is that including like the Christmas special?
He said all of them.
Oh,
Is
mate.
that classed as a movie?
It's class of abomination.
So they said on stage all of the Star Wars movies.
That's cool.
Nat Geo, National Geographic, they're going to have a section on it as well.
Dave
It's got-
Attenborough doing something from what I heard.
No, I think he's BBC.
No, I thought he was
Only?
doing something. Neil, National Geographic.
Don't know, need to look into that.
Right,
But
yeah.
they've got there's loads of other stuff. National Geographic do like based on true events,
Yeah.
movies and stuff like that. What was the one they talked about? Logo or Lopo or some pish about Willem Dafoe chasing his dog up a mountain or something. I don't know.
I skipped all that part of the video.
Yeah. So,
I don't
there's
care
also
about
going to be a
next
Christmas movie with what's her face from the
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna
Kendrick's gonna be-
Kendrick.
Oh, is this not the
Anna-
Sims? It's not the Sister Claus one, is it?
Noel.
Noel. Oh man,
N-O-E-L.
I was like, oh,
Anna
if Vince Vaughn shows up, I swear to God.
Anna Kendrick came out and I skipped it again.
What's wrong with Anna Kendrick?
Nothing I said. I watched Anna Kendrick and I skipped
Oh,
it.
really, okay. I
Um,
watched the film the other day. What was it called? Rapture Palooza. Right?
That name sounds
Why?
ridiculous.
Because that looked quite funny, right? And it's Anna Kendrick. And basically, the idea is like there is the rapture, so all the bad people are left on Earth, right?
You.
And it's Craig Robinson as like the Antichrist and stuff like that, and it was so ridiculous, but it was actually quite funny. Rob Corddry, like Hot Tub Time Machine, stuff like that. Like it was actually surprisingly good.
But it was like just because like she was mentioning, I remember.
That just popped into my head.
That's good for that.
Here's one thing I do want to know about Disney Plus though. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
You're gonna subscribe? Well, you have to.
I have to.
Hugh, your girlfriend loves Disney. You have to.
Have your kids, man. So yeah, I probably will because now
that would be perfect for them because
it's got Disney stuff on it.
I heard something.
What did you say?
I heard something completely different. I was like,
what the hell did you think?
I'm a pervert. Yeah, I'm getting it.
Just to
that would be perfect.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut that bit.
Please don't.
It's gonna go online. Dom just like, Dom, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm a pervert. So
what is the price?
So in American dollars, so far they've said it's going to be $6.99. So $6.99 is what they've said that they're releasing it as. So
it's like £4, but there's no way it's going to be that.
No, it'll be $6.99.
The chant behind it is that it's half the Netflix subscription.
Yeah,
that's what they keep chanting on about.
I think I know what they're going to do, right? Because they own all of the Fox stuff as well. So they own all of Fox's films, and then Disney have got, is it Buena Vista or something like that? That's their adult.
Buena Vista.
Like not adult. That makes it sound like porn.
Mature,
like not kids films.
So
they'll have like
that makes it sound worse.
They'll have like Disney Plus, and then they might have like different name for everything else. Disney Plus will eventually just be the kids. Kids on. Stop laughing.
Right, you even get like the Pirates of the Caribbean and things like that. So there's all Disney things and. What is it? So there was Disney, there was Pixar, there was Marvel, National Geographic and Star Wars were the main tiles on the front screen that you see in your different categories.
I think people that do subscribe to it and look through the library are going to be very surprised of how much Disney actually fucking owns. They're going to be looking at like, they own that? What the fuck? Like,
see, even just from, so it was a quick preview of the menu and the layout of it. They even had like the old ones, like the is it They Were Titans? Remember the Titans? Remember the Titans. That's like one of the ones on this. That's like
they'll have the Mighty Ducks as well.
They've got the original
D23, the Mighty Ducks.
They've got the original Parent Trap.
Yeah,
that's on there as well.
So the one before Lindsay Lohan going into it.
Yep. So they've stated that they're going to have like everything in it. Yeah. So it looks like it could be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to that as well.
Definitely get a shot. I mean, as long as it's not like a yearly thing, like you buy it for a year.
But you got the kids, so like they'll definitely want to watch like Moana, Frozen, but like see what, because Frozen 2's coming out in the cinema as well. I'm assuming straight to that after the film's been out.
Do you know what I got from this? Disney fucking loved themselves.
Oh yeah.
We're just fucking wanking on stage. Like, oh, look at us with fucking everything.
Don't need hand gesture like you.
I like how you get the hand moving and everything. Like we're not filming this.
It's kind of scary at some point because like I said, see the Netflix Marvel shows. There's a good chance we're never going to see them again.
Oh no, definitely.
And they might just go, that's a part of the Marvel history we don't want you to see anymore. Like the old Marvel films, like Daredevil and stuff. They're not going on this.
They'll do the same thing for Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1, 2 and 3, just bin them.
Well, the thing is, if they own everything and they decide everything that you see,
exactly.
The more that they own, the more control they have over it. Yeah. So
I know a lot of people that got rid of their like Blu-rays and DVDs once they started like getting Netflix, and then they started to realise like this shit's not there forever. And then they go back out and buy their DVDs again.
Yeah,
like
there'll be a market for that like later on. Couple of years, physical media will probably go in the uprise.
Rare as shit, like, we guys in alleyways opening their overcoat like, hey man, you want to buy Moana?
I got this copy of Mega Man. You want some of this?
It'll be HMV will come back and just fucking storm up. I was in HMV today and it was so sad. Like it's like, do you want to buy vinyls? Like no.
I do not.
That was incredibly sad.
Vinyls are making their way back.
They are, but like unless you're like a small shop, you're not going to base a big franchise off them. Like because people buy special stuff to them. They're not about going in and buying like 3 and 4 albums at a time.
As well.
Stop looking at my notes. If you wanted notes, write your own notes.
I'm just checking with your handwritten there. Fuck's sake. Try to blow me up in the podcast.
I want everyone to know I was the one that had the most notes.
Did you fuck?
Ross, they can't see your notes.
They can't see all your notes.
I'm telling them.
Hugh shakes both your balls.
Ross, podcast is an audio thing. You have to like tell people and then they believe you. Like, Hamish is only 5'2" and you didn't have any notes.
I'm sorry, that is the weirdest flex I have ever heard. Like, I wrote the most notes.
I wrote the most notes.
That's a weird
I'm the
brag.
most prepared.
And you're the shortest.
And you're the shortest, Hamish.
I'm the same height as you moron.
Well, why have you got such a small man syndrome?
I don't. When have I ever had small man?
Okay.
See the new final trailer for Joker?
Yes.
Heard the reviews from Venice?
I heard a couple of good, a couple of bad.
I've heard a couple of I've heard a couple of really good ones for it, and people
I've
saying pushing for the Oscar.
Yeah,
I'm like, really?
Apparently Joaquin Phoenix Oscar-worthy performance.
I read 2 bad reviews saying that it wanted to be something it could never be, like this. Like, it wanted to be Taxi Driver, and it's not going to be that because the director isn't Martin Scorsese. He's the guy that did The Hangover.
Did you see? I never understood Taxi Driver. Why is it this big, massive, like super duper?
Because it was a descent into madness
and
loneliness.
And this is like basically what I assume that they try to correlate with Joker. It's about a guy trying to fit in but he doesn't, and
you can't fit into this society.
And then he goes a bit mental.
Okay, I watched it and I was like, what the fuck am I
Ross,
watching?
you need to understand art.
It's not you don't need to understand art. People take away things like differently. Again,
Dom doesn't understand it either.
I mean, you can take whatever you want from it. Like we were talking last week about like Outer Wilds, and I took something completely different away from what most people would take from it.
Nothing.
Tom was like, I don't know what's going on.
If you took from that, like, I didn't understand that. Like, of course not. Like, if your mind's not set on, like, if someone told you, oh, by the way, that it's about loneliness and getting into that, like, you would have been like, all right, now I can understand that. It's the same way that I took away from
what it was going into it. I thought there was going to be action in it at some point.
So you know what an incel is now? Like a person reclusive. It's like it's almost always men, obviously, because
you get into reclusive females.
Men have got this psychology where
only if they're born mute.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Like, they're genuinely like they feel
there's no socialization for them. They can't socialize with like women and stuff like that. They don't know how to speak to them.
No social skills.
Yeah, and like they get to a point where they think that certain people they're entitled to certain things and stuff like that.
Something because they've hit these like standards that they think that you need to achieve by they think like get a job.
They've not had actual real life experience to know kind of.
They've had no conflict. They've had no.
This is descending.
You're literally just describing Phil.
It's just. it's like.
So Phil's going to be Taxi Driver.
I think that men get hit with loneliness a lot harder than women a lot of time because men end up like just retreating into themselves.
Men are much more the type that kind of suffer in silence and
then it always ends terribly.
And then there's a stigma for seeking help, and it's all the job.
So and then you get your gun and you go into an American school.
No, I don't.
Shave your head to a mohawk, Travis Bickle style.
Cut that bit about the school out. I'll cut that out.
So like you would get like from if you're not sure about how with Taxi Driver you didn't get that much from it. I mean, I have the same feeling when I was watching Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like I went in going, man, Scott's a complete asshole. Yes. What a terrible movie. And he's like, oh no, that's the character. He's supposed to be an asshole.
So it's not a terrible movie.
So like when I rewatched it and went, okay, let me go in with that sort of perspective. Like Scott is supposed to be a selfish asshole that's not supposed to, he's not understanding what he's doing. And then you sort of go, okay, I get what they were trying to do from there. And the film's not as bad as like I thought. Not a big fan of Michael Cera, but
I really I got it
at the end. Like, okay, because that one bit of information from it. But from the Joker sort of way from that, like if like someone's
we went so far away from the Joker.
From what they're trying to say, if like you don't try to compare these sort of styles of movies to each other because it's impossible to do that. Like time will tell if this movie will be anywhere near Taxi Driver or Raging Bull or One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or anything that they would class as like classics.
The other thing I read about this film that's different from what we're talking about is people are worried that like those people that like end up worshipping like the Joker from The Dark Knight and like they don't understand Fight Club, so they take it at face value. Right, and they don't get there's a massive subtext. It's not about fighting and like
Punisher's bad for one. You get idiots that wear the skull and they're like
I'm a badass.
Like it's like, well, that's not. Yeah, you're not meant to worship the Punisher.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he's
Like,
meant to be this character where you
he's
can
not even
kind of
an-
relate
he's
to him,
not
but
even an
like
anti-hero.
he's
He's
bad.
a villain. He's a fucking
bad.
villain, like through and through.
And they're worried that like people attach themselves to this character, where like Thanos as well, Hamish, where you're not meant to relate to these characters.
Well, let's not get into that. That's a rabbit hole.
Like you're not meant to relate to these characters, so they're worried that like because we're living in this crazy time
that's
people
something
will.
as well that you see in the final trailer. He looks like he's going to be like kind of cult leader, the Joker.
Well, he
I'm talking
is.
about. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that's
It's
something
because
that-
it's the beginning of it, like the.
but it's something that they've not specifically, obviously in the very first 1989 Batman.
I not addressed it. Have
They had he had a following, he was like a gangster and he had a crew, but they've not really went down that road in the previous iterations that we've seen recently about Joker. But he looks like a full-fledged cult leader, basically.
Because like the last one that you sort of had, Suicide Squad, is like he just likes knives and he's a gangster.
Just,
And now he's
he's
a
edgy, mate.
psychopath, and that's it. There's nothing to
He's
it.
my
There's no
edgy boy.
substance. There's no.
I like that Jared Leto Joker.
I think he's
I
okay.
thought it was alright. It wasn't as bad as everyone says it was. It's just, I think it just threw a lot of people. Like it wasn't what they were
I think it's
expecting.
made worse by the fact that like most of his scenes were cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what
Yeah.
Jared Leto said. He says like they cut like just about all of this characterization.
I think he actually said that you could make a whole film of all the scenes that you cut out of my performance as
That-
Joker.
I'd like to see like what they actually originally
Did
were
with
going to
that,
make because they gave it to like 3 editors. The 3 of them cut it in different ways, and then they took those 3 cuts and then
Made a mega cut.
put them together, and you were like, "That's 3 different visions of
Yeah,
this
that's
film."
3 different people's
I'd like a
interpretations of it.
director's cut of that.
A cut of the cut.
I don't think you're ever going to get it, but
No, definitely
I
not.
don't know.
But we would have had that by now, I think, if we were.
release the Snyder cut.
Snyder. What would you go and see the Joker then?
Yeah,
What, Joker?
definitely. I would like to go and see it. It's definitely it has my interest.
Yeah, Hugh.
Yeah, I'll go see it because
Okay,
I go
so-
see all the films.
Hugh's got the multipass.
Multipass.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Is it quite soon, isn't it?
Yeah,
4th,
yeah.
4th of October or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's coming out for it as well. Any other trailers or movies and stuff like that, boys? Get
Hey,
to the
wait.
chapel.
Hugh?
Oh, Hugh?
I'm beginning to
Wait,
wonder-
need your army? give me your best army, go.
I'm beginning to wonder.
the Terminator.
Anyway,
I don't know if he
Yeah.
never should have ever said the line "I'll be back" because he never fucking left.
no,
Like-
just no, I'll be back.
Hey, he left the police station and rammed it with a car. Said he was going to be back.
Like,
He didn't lie.
he's a man of his word.
That's it.
Or a machine of his words.
A machine of his
I
word.
don't know. I don't know what happened. Did they pay Linda Hamilton the whole wedge of cash to come back?
They drove that car full of money into our house. That's what happened.
Please come back. Terminator's just burning to the ground.
Please, we need your salvation.
Is she not going to be a playable character in Gears 5 as well?
Linda Hamilton?
I think
what?
so. Is
Sarah Connor?
100 I'm going to do? Is that
Yeah,
He is, yeah.
That's what
But apparently Sarah Connor's.
Oh, that fits with the universe, doesn't it?
There's quite a big.
I'm shaking my head, by the way.
There's a
There's
what?
quite a big push for Terminator in things.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11.
Mortal Kombat. It was the other one I'd seen as well recently.
Oh yeah, the season pass was leaked, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they released it for Spawn's on it as well.
And speaking of
Okay.
Joker, there's a Joker in it as well.
Yeah.
Looks like a ridiculous Joker. He looks
He's
just
a hybrid.
weird.
It's a very crazy hybrid they've got from Joker and Injustice 2 and Jared Leto. And
Was it
Yes, it's
Mortal
really
Kombat 9 or 10 that had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
10.
You
Yeah,
can't have the
that's
wrong
awesome.
Joker if you get all the Jokers. Speaker.
Wait, was it not was it not Injustice 2? Turtles.
What? Turtles.
No, I can't remember.
No, I don't think
Is
so.
that not the last? Is that not the last Mortal
Was it
Kombat?
No, it actually maybe. No, maybe.
Because they tag in and stuff like that.
Do they?
Yeah. Again, it's been a while.
I get mixed up.
It's one of those games.
And
They're all the
Injustice.
same.
Well,
It's the same engine.
Aye.
while we're talking about Joker, I put a wee post up on our Instagram, Patches and Official, the other day about who's your favourite Joker performance.
Oh,
so,
right, okay.
like live action or voice.
Oh, because your
Mark
voice
Hamill.
is Mark Hamill straight
Fucking
away. But
does.
I'm a favourite. I do like Jack Nicholson's.
Jack Nicholson, yeah,
I
yeah.
do like Jack Nicholson's one. And I mean, as much as I love Heath, I was like. Heath Ledger. I was about to say Heath Ledger. I'm like, that's not even anyone's Sledger. His performance in Dark Knight, like, you know, I think that outshines that movie and makes like everyone else like terrible in that.
That film's almost perfect, except the very, very end annoyed me.
Yeah, it's a bit funny for it. You're like,
His
oh, what?
voice was annoying,
But then he didn't, you know, he was told to that, I'm not wearing hockey pads. And you're like, oh, okay. Where are they?
I mean, he does have to mask the voice.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't have the modulator. Like
All
you get
that
with,
fantastic tech, you can fucking see people through cell phones, but you can't develop a voice.
He's not Superman. He doesn't have a pair of glasses he can put on and look, totally different.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He has to mask his voice.
No, you can see through walls with cell phones, but can't have a voice.
Do you know what someone should do? They should edit Hulk Hogan's voice over him.
Hey brother, what you gonna do? Where are they, brother? Where's the Joker, brother?
So you going with Jack Nicholson?
I'm saying Jack Nicholson.
Right. Hugh, what about you?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger,
Yeah.
Ross?
I do really like Heath Ledger's performance in the Batman movies. Yep. But Mark Hamill.
Just the Batman movies.
No, I like Heath Ledger as an actor in whole. I had Heath Ledger in anything.
He's
great. He's great.
A Knight's Tale was awesome.
Knight's Tale was really good.
It's called a Lance. Hello. The Mark Hamill is the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, as much as the rest of them have played them really well.
That's why Kevin Conroy is my Batman.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy is always my man.
No, it's very, very close for me between Jack Nicholson and Mark Hamill.
Oh.
Heath as well, but it's hard because they're all different versions of the Joker in my eyes. You know what I mean? But I probably have to give it to Mark Hamill. Yeah.
It's like difficult when you're putting into it, but I mean, because you've got to think of all the animations he's done plus the games.
Especially because they're the different mediums, live action and that. But
you never know, Joaquin Phoenix could be it next time.
I know. Maybe next time we've seen the movies, then we'll have a.
I've heard conflicting, and none of them are like 3 out of 5s. It's either 1 or 5.
Love or hate kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've not heard a single bad review, honestly. It's only been shown in the Venice Film Festival or something like that, so there's very limited reviews thus far, but obviously we'll get more of them as it comes out. Definitely be seeing that.
Is there any movies or TV shows you've seen recently that you want to talk about?
I watched Birdman.
Oh, you finally watched that, man?
Oh, I love that film.
How good is that?
I was so confused. I was trying to because it's obviously a film with hundreds of subtext in it.
Yeah,
it's very ambiguous on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, and like the ending obviously is super ambiguous, but like I got it all the way through, and about how like some people try and kill themselves for the art when they don't realise what they've already done and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like there's loads of stuff with Michael Keaton because he was Batman and he played Birdman, and he's trying to be a serious actor, but people call him like the Batman guy.
Yeah. Have you seen this, Ross?
I haven't yet. No, it's good.
It's on Netflix. It's really
definitely
good.
Watch it. Definitely.
What's her name's in it?
Emma Stone.
She's like
Ed Norton's in it.
Has great performances all round, man.
Honestly,
fucking good.
Like Ed Norton's like, I don't want to ruin it for you because it's really good, but he's like a pretentious theatre actor, who
so he's Ed
looks
Norton.
down. I love Ed Norton because I love Fight
but
Club.
he is still a pretentious dick.
He looks down on Michael Keaton's character because he was fucking Birdman.
He was like famous back in the day, really famous, but and he's trying to kind of
get that glory for it. So it's really good.
There's the very kind of ambiguous like question: does he actually have these powers? Because you see him when he's alone, like floating in the air and stuff like that, but then when there's other people there, he's not doing anything supernatural. And
so then is it on his heat or does he actually?
Yeah, basically that's it. And it never ever really gives it away. It's left to the viewer to kind of
use this side.
Michael Keaton's one of the best actors ever.
He's phenomenal, man.
Like again, I always say like when the Spider-Man Homecoming.
That scene.
One scene, like I was like, but Birdman came out before that, and I was like, man, like it's Michael Keaton's.
Birdman didn't play the Vulture. He was so tense. Seeing that in the car when he figured out that he was Spider-Man, it was so tense.
Pure menacing.
Like that was really, really difficult to figure out, wasn't it?
This whole Superman drawing the glasses on him.
It's that moment again.
Is that Gumster? It's Webb. It was you.
I mean, I like that he actually did figure it out because it would have been ridiculous if he didn't. But
any movies you've watched, man?
I can't even think off the top of my head.
How many Disney films have you watched lately with your weddings?
Oh man,
or kids? To anybody knows Scottish?
In fact, I have seen so much Dora the Explorer recently. It's unreal.
Are you going to see the movie when it comes out?
No, am I?
Is that wee prick swiper still swiping?
Oh me.
What if the kids want to see it?
Tough. Simple. What have I watched?
Is that prick still swiping?
Yes, man, the swiper still swiping. I tried to start watching The Boys. I'm really I didn't actually manage to get in there yet.
We already spoke about that, mate. You
But you
can't
missed
spoil
it, you
it.
missed
I know. I don't want to talk
Says
about
the
it.
person that's talked about Fire Emblem for 6
That's the
fucking
point.
weeks.
I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it because I do want to actually watch it. I've just not been able to get in it. I also watched it. I don't know if you've seen. I can't remember the fucking name of it. The one in it's it looks like it's sort of Victorian, but it's got like fairies and stuff in it, and one of them gets arrested for something they never done or whatever. It's like but it's supposed to be like a detective series, but with like fairy creatures and shit.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Aye.
Oh, what is that called?
Because that looked really, really interesting. I thought I'd
Give me a
watch
second.
it. I'm
I'm gonna have to check.
Eh,
I did go to the cinema, by the way. Sorry to cut you off. I went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No,
Hi.
very good.
Hamish,
Where's my invite?
I hadn't seen Sinead in 2 weeks. I wasn't going to add you to our date night.
Whatever. How was it? Is it any good?
Yeah, it was amazing.
You don't look
But
very convinced.
I don't know what it was about.
So from what I heard from,
It was Quentin Tarantino,
It's a
and
guy
like,
in his stunt.
well, that was it. It was literally, it was like just because Quentin Tarantino thinks he should make it doesn't mean he should. Just because he's
But,
going
like,
to put his name on it doesn't mean.
Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio were amazing as they usually are,
Yeah.
and then Margot Robbie was awesome as well. And like it takes real history and then just twists it because things that are, like happen in real life don't happen. And it's like the film like goes on and it's a lot of like just these set pieces of like Leonardo DiCaprio's acting in this film. Brad Pitt goes off and meets these other people and stuff like that, and then at the end it just breaks down into fucking violence for like out of fucking nowhere,
No
like,
reason behind it.
and it's hilarious. Like,
Carnival Row, just to say.
Carnival Row,
Okay,
aye,
sorry.
that's the one.
alright,
Continue.
but like,
Oh, Cara Delevingne gets her tits out in episode 3.
What?
alright, Mr. Skin.
Specifically, what time? What time? 1 minute?
I don't know, I just sort of
Fucking
know.
Sorry, good.
But,
That's the only thing I know about that show. I've never heard about it before, but yeah.
Not seen any other part apart from
The tits.
episode
He
3.
just did that full piece
Yeah,
right?
Tits.
those are some carrot titties.
Some titties.
That's a
I think the last thing we really watched, well, I've really watched.
he was making a
Sorry,
point.
sorry,
Fuck you,
finish.
you-
Apologies.
He's
Sorry.
uninteresting.
you should go all go see it though.
Yeah. I'm
it was
interested.
entertaining, but I have no idea why.
Yeah. It was like I feel like that with Inglourious Bastards.
Everybody's super charismatic in it.
That was great for man.
Yeah, I felt a bit like I was like, did that? And then like, because I remember going and watching it with my brother, and there was only 2 people in front of us, and there were 2 old ladies.
Oh really?
Right, and we sat like going, okay, this is quite quiet for that. And then obviously, Ross, you seen Glorious?
I have, yeah.
So like right at the end, obviously, shoot the fucking Hitler, just go nuts for that. And
It just goes mental at the end.
yeah. So what happened? Like, you know, I'm like, that's not what happened. Some Kevin
That's-
pissing himself off.
That's what I was doing at the end of that film. I was like, I know the history of this, and
Yeah.
that's not what happened.
Yeah, I'm not like, you know, I thought Hitler killed himself, not got shotted, got a machine gun down. So that last season in front of us just turned around and went, that was very interesting.
It's like
I prefer if that had happened to Hitler. Yeah, fuck Hitler. Just walked away. It was nice. I thought there was nice old ladies.
You know, one thing that annoys me about Quentin Tarantino is in every trailer, it's like the 6th film by Quentin Tarantino, the 7th film by Quentin Tarantino. It's like a film should be able to stand on its own. It shouldn't be like, you know, that shouldn't be a selling point of your film. Like,
he's a brand now, isn't he?
aye, that's what I mean. Like, he's trying to rest on the fact that his name is attached to it.
And all of his films have that, like, do I like it? Like,
Why do I like this?
I know why, because it's cool and it like.
It's cool when it's got great scenes in it
Yeah.
and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but overall it's a bit kind of like, what the fuck?
Hi, Dad.
Brad Pitt was awesome in this film, and so is Leonardo DiCaprio. And
Yeah.
see the both of them together, they're really fucking good together.
Yeah.
And like, even Margot Robbie wasn't even in it that much, and no other characters are really in it that much.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just them two kind of going about their days and
Having
stuff
a
like
laugh.
that. And Leo's having like. His character's having almost like a midlife crisis because his acting career's kind of stuttering and stuff like that, and like just like honestly, I was waiting for like a plot, like know how it was like, what do they need, what do they want, what are they going
What's
towards?
the goal? What's the point of this film, basically? Like,
Yeah, but it just kind of the end is. See, when you go see it, you'll know exactly what I mean by the end. You're like,
Yeah.
where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah. Any movies you seen, Hamish?
I've not really seen any movies lately.
Have you heard any?
There's actually
That was terrible.
that's not even funny. There's actually been a few films that I've looked at. Like, I downloaded this app on the Xbox, right, and it just streams movies, and I spent like an hour looking through these movies. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say them on this, but I think we should absolutely have like a wee viewing party of watching these films because they are so ridiculous sounding.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, man.
Are they all B movie?
I just say that, so
Hamish told me about one of them, and it's so racist that even if you were a racist in the middle of the most racist time, you would still be like, whoa.
You could be in Alabama. You'd be a white man in the 70s, and you'd be like, it's a bit far, man. It's so ridiculous, but like, on the one hand, I'm like, we should all watch it, and I'm like, I don't really want to show this to my friends. I don't want to do that to them. No, I've not really seen it much. I'm really looking forward to Joker. That's
big.
The main one. Chapter 2 comes out soon, in like 3-4 days or something.
I think that's the thing.
The continuation of the story.
Hugh's not a fan because he's a shite bag.
I just sort of fight that clown.
You're gonna fight Pennywise the clown, do you?
That's my natural reaction. See if it was a clown like chasing me, I'd be like, I'm just going to fight this clown. Like,
but then,
it kills me. I'm just going to go for it.
But the problem is, Hugh's always looking at a mirror and he just sees a clown.
That wasn't any better than his joke.
It's wild, dog. That came out of nowhere for no reason.
Well, unless anyone else has got any kind of final thoughts, then I think that wraps it up.
Dom's got a final thought because I'm going to fucking kill him.
I don't think Dom's had a first thought. Judging by the
Wait, something was said, not good.
We're going to try and stream some Gears 5.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll get Gears 5 coming out soon. There's 3-player co-op. Sorry, Ross.
I'm sorry, Ross. I'm the only one that's online.
That's true. It's gonna end up with Ross playing it, knowing you guys. But we'll definitely try and get some of that. There's obviously there's horde modes and stuff like that, so we can all get a game.
Horde modes,
horde modes.
Thanks very much, Ross, for jumping on the podcast. You enjoy your time with us.
Thank you, Ross. Yeah.
Enjoy is a very
it's a strong word.
Yeah, man, it's been good fun.
Thanks.
We'll get you on in like a couple of years.
Another couple of years.
If you're wanting to find us on Instagram, we're on Patches In Official. If you want to find us on Twitter, it's @PatchesIn. If you've got any questions or requests or anything like that, we do have a Gmail, and that's patchesinofficial@gmail.com. We are streaming on Twitch as well. Hugh, you want to take this one?
Twitch.com/.
You do this every fucking time. Twitch.tv, man.
Do you know what?
That's why I like doing that bit. Twitch TV.
Twitch.tv/PatchesInGaming.
That's one more time, Hamish.
I said it fine.
You need to remember that because Dom won't link you.
Nah, I won't link you at all. I'll forget to.
Dom or Hugh won't be online, so don't worry about it.
I'll be online, it just won't be me, or maybe Jason just like watching YouTube or something, which most likely happens.
Get in contact with us on the social media. Let us know how bad Ross was, if you want to pick or not.
And if you get to this point, the code word for the comments is Dom is a silly bitch.
That's #Dom is a silly bitch. Thanks for coming in and hanging with us, Ross.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me.
So give everyone a goodbye, Ross.
Goodbye, Ross.
Hugh, tell everyone goodbye.
Bye.
How unenthusiastic can you be?
Yeah.
That was a shrug there, boys. Cheers, guys.
Goodbye, Dom, man. Goodbye from me.
And girls.
You really think girls listen to this? I know you guys, and I don't listen to it, man. I can't do it. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.